Yeah, we'll see whether he has the privilege of doing so or whether, like what you're predicting, the Viper will unfortunately Pepe spit him out of the damn lane. Game number 1 of Boom Esports up against Bruv here, and Bruv, they've been on the tear, but we can't just neglect that Boom have the momentum riding with them as well. Both these teams coming in head full of steam, ready to move ahead here and get a second chance against some of the top dogs, Aurora and Talon, in the upper bracket. That should be a fun one to watch as well, but this one's gonna be bloody, this one's gonna be messy, and that's the way we like our Dota. Both teams early smoke out to the bot lane. They seem to already have a very similar idea about what they want to do, but can't help but feel like Boom are gonna have the advantage here in the early stages. A lot of good stuns and damage to work with.
Yeah, their level 1 is much better.
Bot. Oh, they know. And Seimei doesn't. Blood Grenade comes out. This should be a very easy kill, but a beautiful Scatter Blast, slowing down the entire side of Boom. They're trying to get the connection. A stun up as well. Mac lands it onto 2, but it's not going to be enough. The Viper wasn't able to connect with a single poison attack, and now they're turning it onto Mac. Even with full information, they're the ones who come out on top on Bruv, and the beautiful body blocking from Bob stops the kill. Tsukimoto's finally going to go down, but that's not before you kill FBZ, and now Ghost is going to fall as well. All 3 cores on the side of Boom die as a result of that move, where they're the ones who planted the ward first, and it felt like they were the ones who were supposed to have the advantage.
Well, Sneeze, we said we like it gross, we like it messy, and that's exactly what we've gotten, and they might lose Treant Protector here as well. They certainly will. Bob will get the last hit on that one.
I mean, something to be said for solidarity, and something to be said for being a little silly there on the Treant Protector, still deciding to stick around. And sure, you know, you're looking at the health bars and the mana bars of the heroes on Bruv. It's not really looking the best. So the lanes might be a bit of a struggle, but with the gold lead that they have, I don't think they're complaining at all.
You could, I mean, at least on the Bat Rider, maybe not so the Razor or the Puck, but you could just, you know, die here for the thrill of it, right? Trade your life away effectively, you know, trade some of your HP for theirs, reset, and then go back in the lane in a better position. But Bat Rider isn't really a hero that relies on his mana too much. He has, you know, very low mana cost abilities, so I think it's fine. You just kind of chill out, lick your wounds, let your mana come back nice and slowly. Maybe call out a Clarity
not
or
really
a
a problem for Bob as well, right? Because of the Puckish passive, of course, just being able to constantly get such a nice dose of regen. That's really what has made Puck a much more safe laner to pick, even into quote-unquote counters like the DK in the past, maybe something like the Pango. Max still should be fine here, though. Fully expect him to see some, you know, creep drag into hard camp or medium camp shenanigans just to min-max that farm. For now, though, I'm not expecting to see any action in the mid lane. Meanwhile, bot, though, DJ and Ghost starting to run up onto Tsukimoto, chasing down on the Snapfire. Scatterblast should just scare them away here, but yeah, you mentioned that this Snapfire is gonna do pretty well, but the slow from the power shot, DJ is even slower. The tree can't move. And Ghost actually getting run down a little bit here. If he had one more Infernal Blade, just 3 seconds cooldown, I think Seimei would have finished that. Joe! Just playing on the knife's edge here. DJ doing his best to just bodyguard away these two heroes, but they are doing a pretty good job at finding angles and capitalizing on them.
Yeah, Tsukimoto, he had just barely hit level 2 when that full bore went off. So there was a split second of kill potential on the wind. Unfortunately, Cookie wind-up is just a little bit too long.
Oh, they got the connection onto FBZ. He is in big trouble. 10 stick charges though. It's a matter of sustain now. Who can outdrain the other? The poison damage is starting to stack up, but FBZ, his actual damage is all sapped away. 423 able to close it. And nicely done. I mean, this is a lane that you were mentioning the Razor's supposed to suffer, but the fact that he got that first blood involved in so many kills, and now slight EXP advantage, getting the kill on the Viper. This is looking good for 423.
It was an interesting position to be put in when you're contesting pole camp as the Viper against like 2 ranged heroes that want to get on top of you. All of a sudden, no lane creeps, no Tims to help out. Like, he was close by. But it's a level 2 line. They're gonna stun him, and then what? So it's just a little wonky of a strategy. Nah,
Ooh,
what
look
are
at Bob.
you doing, Bob?
That's a very, very cute fortify just to keep the creeps under the tower, help him tank a little bit longer. The last auto attack, Mac, with such a heads-up Ironwood branch plant, blocks that vision for a potential auto attack. I don't think Bob would have been able to send it in either. But Bob really playing on the knife's edge here to his limits and just trying to juice out as much of an advantage as he can. You love to see it.
And Tsukimoto, well, Mac has a raindrop, he's fine. I say that.
Okay.
Oh.
Not in time. Mac able to get the TP out. Very, very heads up play here. He knew that Bob was hungry for blood.
Yeah, that's the only play you make to get out of there. That's the only one. So perfectly heads up call, but you're now losing a lane that was as even as it possibly could have been. Right? Bob has done a lot of mental damage, not so much physical damage, but you're losing some XP. Gold-wise, it's still pretty even.
It's not too bad. I mean, the wave still, you know, he maybe loses 1 or 2 creeps because the lane equilibrium was thankfully just right down the middle. So nothing of value, really much lost. We talked about us needing to watch the twin gates. Here's DJ, but he's in an awkward position. The bait doesn't really work out, especially when you get a beautiful Scatterblast cookie onto 3. You couldn't ask for anything more from Tsukimoto. You talked about him controlling the game on his signature picks. Looks like we have to add Snapfire to that collection. Burning up onto DJ, but no damage. Barely. Maybe a blood grenade and one more napalm would have done the trick, but say, you know, decides to let the Treant live. Another one where FBZ goes down, and Mac managing to get that barrel strike off right before the silence came through. Still, this is excellent for 4-2-3. I mean, FBZ is not really having the lane that he wanted.
No, and Mac isn't either. Mac is probably so upset at Tsukimoto. Mac just wants a damn bounty rune, and he cannot find one anywhere. Tsukimoto is there every time.
I feel like that's a common theme that we're getting from watching these. Yeah, every time we watch a Tsukimoto game, he's just there. Like when Bruv are playing well, Tsukimoto's everywhere, and it's starting to feel that way on that Snapfire. Great TP rotation there. And that was supposed to be, again, another situation where Boom were the ones with the initiative, right? They had the information, they were setting up, but a bait gone Ori, and now it's just a little bit awkward now. 6-minute runes, a bit of a tussle. Mac has that level 6 and can use the... Okay, no, ends up spawning in the top lane instead. Now, the question is whether Tsukimoto can get out. With that slow, it should be fine. He's still going to try and chase, though. This is really deep. They're going to call Mac. Tsukimoto's trying to find an angle out of here. Unlikely, but Mac dropping very low as well. Now, looks like FBZ did fall again to Sei, but Sei ends up dying from the poison damage, which explains his absence from the mid lane. Not too bad, all things considered, that Bob secured the rune as well, though.
Yeah, Invis rune for Puck, so what? You use Koi, you still output a lot of damage. You can still gank with it. If anything, it's a nice rune of survivability for you. But I mean, you gank, you kill this Viper again, his game is donezo at that point. Viper is one of those heroes that really relies on winning his lane handedly.
Radiant are scanning.
Okay. DJ, trying to get a little funky. Trying to be funny with stealing the wisdom rune, but Tsukimoto outclicks him in this regard. And very smart play. I was gonna say saving the cookie, but now, you know, they need to hang on to the Inferno plate. DJ's still very tanky and can kite them around these tree line for quite a while. I mean, it's just a matter of...
What is happening?
They missed
Okay, they got him, they got him.
And DJ just... Okay, yeah, that was a little bit awkward. Meanwhile, top lane, a fight breaking out. As 4-2-3, he is ticking down to the poison damage. He will die, actually, to FBZ. They end up losing the Treant as well. I mean, not the Treant, sorry, the Lion. And this is just really good stuff, but oh, the stun Mac right there to cut off Bob. But Ghost still ends up going down. So you get 2 pretty high value kills on Bruv, but boom, still, the losses are massive here.
Yeah, I think Bob is, I mean, more or less okay with that one. He gets his abilities off, it turns into some kills. Cool, right? You do lose your life, but you're so far ahead, you're pretty happy with it. Nonetheless.
Epicenter attempted there, but Mac understands he doesn't really have any additional way of slowing down Tsukimoto. And so he's going to be able to firefly away. Stun on the high ground's cute, but nothing much that they can actually follow up or take any tangible action on. Bob is back, trying to make his way to the illusion room that Tsukimoto will just have to grab up. But yeah, I mean, 6-12, the kill score definitely not even, but it still feels like Boom aren't, you know, getting smashed completely yet, which is a good sign, right? We were asking for a bit more of an even game. Even though Boom have suffered some of these losses in the early skirmishes, they are still hanging on, I'd say. Net worth-wise, it's not looking the prettiest, but maybe if they can continue to play through Mac, they're gonna have a good chance at coming back in this mid-game.
Yeah, Mac just needs his first item, right? FBZ, Viper is not reliant really on items whatsoever. He's just reliant on getting his levels and making it so that he can, you know, stand in fights as long as possible. Sure, items help you with that, but you've got a good cast of heroes to help you survive a little bit longer, Treant Protector specifically.
Yeah, speaking of the Treant Protector, he's up to no good. Poor Bat Rider, gotta get clicked down, and I think FBZ's reached the point where he's level 6 and it's not so easy to just stand in lane against him anymore. Tsukimoto as well, the supports making similar mistakes on the opposing ends of the map. It's interesting that they're choosing to mass TP down here, maybe trying to find a little bit more. They see the Doom on the vision with the creep wave that he's pulling. But the question is whether they can catch up to it. Doesn't seem like it. It's just going to be support kills for now. And I think something interesting I want to point out, Crash, is if you look at the cute items for all of these players, Bob is going for a Witchblade, which is pretty stock standard, but it's an instant BKB rush for 423. And Seimei is actually foregoing the Midas entirely. He's going straight for the pipe. So they're opting to build very defensive. You got any inkling of what this could be about?
I mean, you say it's defensive. I say it's defensively aggressive almost, right? These are items that enable you to run down your opponents as fast as possible. When you're BKB'd up, what does Boom do to you? That's not true. A trick question. The answer is nothing.
I mean, it depends on your definition of trick question. Tsukimoto, not level 6 yet, doesn't have the kisses, but they will give a bit of a love tap to this Razor. Nice gank from Bob. Tsukimoto's still trying to set up on Tim's though, but he's a bit too deep, a bit too far under the tower. And he has a finger on him. He can spell someone's death if they overcommit. TP's available on the Sand King as well, so he could have made his way to that engagement. Almost at the Blink Dagger already, around 200 gold, so he's not going anywhere until he farms that one up, and then we can likely see a smoke move out, maybe up to the top lane to finally get that tier 1 tower. For now, focus for Bruv, they're moving towards the bot lane, they want to grab the tower for themselves.
Good call from DJ, scouting out the rotation from Puck. Is going to get Ghost out of there safely. Would have been pretty bad for the Wind's game to die there again. You know, we talked about how much Viper is struggling, but Wind is doing just as poorly.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I mean, I don't really sort of chalk Ghost up to be having that rough of a lane, right? It was mostly, you know, it was kind of fine, but that's kind of the problem with Wind Ranger. Unless you are doing even or well in the lane, you take kind of a while to farm up your first item. Chase is on. Ball is out. All you find is Lil DJ. Not really too bad for Boom, right? If you're just losing the Treant Protector or maybe the line from here to that time, it's, you know, can perhaps lull the side of Bruv into a false sense of security. One that's gonna lead into this Razor's death if he's not careful. The blink reveal on the Sand King. Gonna jump forward and eviscerate him. 423 was not expecting that at all.
No, and you can tell that the rest of Bruv weren't either, right? They had no idea that the Sand King, and they shouldn't, obviously, have no idea that the Sand King is currently top of the net worth. This hero is very problematic now.
He comes out onto the Viper. They have it onto FBZ, but a beautiful epicenter power strike onto both supports. Tsukimoto has to hop out of that, but Dust Devil Sandstorm gonna be enough damage. And Mac escaping. FBZ survives as well. And now Seimei, he's gone a bit too deep. Ghost has come and joined the cavalry, and they will just shoot down this Doom with a power shot. A little bit of a scattered attempt from Bruv forces them to pay in a very heavy price. I mean, now Bob, he's trying to 1v1 Mac, but Mac is a tanky customer, and Bob just has to retreat. You're starting to run into a little bit of damage issues here up against the Sand King, who, like you mentioned, has deviously crawled his way to the top of the net worth, and Say's gonna go down as well. Excellent fight from Boom, bringing the numbers and splitting the fight, especially from Mac. That was as perfect as you could ask for from a Barrel Strike epicenter.
Specifically, too, because it canceled the Mortimer's Kisses. Right, that was the big one. That could be what changed the tail of this fight, but getting the epi, getting the burrow right on top of those supports, right? No lasso, no nothing. You're just dead.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
A lot of the additional damage is reliant on the supports at this early stage of the game. You know Seimei isn't really doing much other than the Doom take damage naturally. And imagine if there was multiple kisses on, you know, FBZ's head, even one kiss would have sealed the deal. Unfortunately, that was just not to be. A great shout there. I mean, I didn't even notice the Mortimer's kisses because of how fast Tsukimoto got stunned. It was so quick.
Instantly, one glob came out, and that was like the initial glob, and that was literally it. Like Mac was on him like butter on bread. I don't know.
Well, Mac has been doing very well for himself. A buttery smooth start, I'd say. And it's honestly, it's kind of scary, right? Because this Sand King, we need to remember, is the plague of this patch. It is the plague of this patch, I think, in comparison to any other hero. And they still picked it into the Doom, which we were talking about, how this Doom is a pretty good response. So far, Seimei, he's been focused on dooming other individuals on the Boom roster, and it hasn't really worked out for him just yet.
It looks like Seimei did go for that Midas too. So did eventually end up deciding for a Midas.
Okay, the scan goes a little bit wide, but that's not going to stop the Bat Rider from going down. Not entirely sure how they knew Sei was just standing there, but I guess it was just a bit, nice bit of guesswork. As great play from DJ here, just popping sentries down, making sure there's no vision on the twin gates, and the side of Boom can keep up this aggression on the back of their Sand King.
I think one really good thing that Boom did there in that last engagement as well was bring the wind. Right, Ghost was really not needed there, but it's nice to partake in all of those kills, right? Get that residual gold, the residual XP. And look where Ghost is sitting now. You know, not tippy top of the net worth, but in a much better position than they were, you know, 3 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago even.
Yeah, and we talked about the Wind Ranger farming a bit slow, considering all other... Ooh, still clipping on the tail end of that burrow, but no follow-up. But yeah, the point I was making, the Wind Ranger really needs that Maelstrom to start amplifying her farm, and the second she gets that, she joins the fight, right? So that's really heads up. Can further get her towards the instant BKB, not rushing the Gleipnir first. I love that choice. He understands that that is the barrier to entry for a lot of these engagements. Oh, Mac. That epicenter sound is just giving me, it's just giving me the quivers, man. Now there is a BKB on 423.
Yes. Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit of a window here for Bruv with this BKB, as no one on Boom is really close to theirs.
Yeah. The question is whether they can still confidently take a fight, right? The Bat Rider doesn't have a proper entry into the fight just yet. Just 30 gold off that Blink Dagger, and I'm predicting a bit of a Bruv smoke to come out and try and get something done. And I believe in that slight rune tussle, DJ caught a glimpse of the completed BKB. Well, if they didn't before, they probably will see it now. The ping's coming through. They seem to know 423 is up here, just farming the creep wave. Oh, and they're starting to surround him. This is a lone Razor up here. No one else is here to potentially help. Starting to cut him off. Even with the BKB, he can't actually TP out because DJ's in the area. This is not a good look. Starting the whirlwind. Not even needed. Just gonna shoot him down, and yeah, he's not gonna BKB this situation because it wouldn't have saved him anyway. Great catch from Boom, and they're not done. Immediate smoke up. They're coming through the twin gates. The scan comes through. They know that Bruv are in this area, and the immediate retreat because of that wonderful ward being placed down. They have full vision of their opponents.
But they don't know who gated.
Okay, on to the puck. The Doom on the Sand King, that's what you wanted, but can they still continue to take this fight? A lot of magic damage out from Bob, looking to turn the tides in their favor. In an unfavorable situation, somehow Bruv come out on top. And Ghost in trouble as well. No lasso, but more than enough fire to burn him to the ground. A great turnaround for the side of Bruv, and they can continue this aggression in the bot lane.
It was a great recognition of when they could fight, and a lot of it has to do with just the numbers game, right? Viper wasn't there, so it was an easy 4-on-4. You get the Doom on the Sand King, then it's a 3-on-4. Sand King is stuck not being able to do anything and turns himself into a little piggy and tries to run away, but in the midst of a coil, it's not really an option.
Oh no! No, not the Hex! Ooh, just caught trying to find a rune, baby boy! That's tough, that's tough. Just when you made such a great play in the bot lane too, Tim's right on top of him. I believe that was a fresh Blink Dagger. Just catches him off guard.
Indeed. It was indeed. Yeah, Bob had no idea about that blink dagger because in his mind, this lion just died. There's no way he has a blink dagger.
It's under attack.
Had that bad boy shipped out to him already, I think, before the dev. So just a posthumous haha. And now Boom, able to get the tier 1 tower as a result of the Puck's absence. A lot of control and damage left out with Bob not being in the picture. And I can't help but feel like Boom can just continue this aggression, right? They're feeling very confident now, even with 423's BKB. They have a lot of different ways of dealing damage through it at this point, especially with the Viper and the Wind getting quite a bit of net worth. The Hurricane Pike complete on FBZ. And the Wind just a little bit away from that BKB herself.
Yeah, BKBs are going to change the course of this game for Boom, obviously for the better. The more BKBs, the easier this game gets.
Starting to initiate onto Seimei here, but look at how tanky FBZ is, my goodness. He took 0 damage from that. He's still trying to find an opening here. The blink forward lasso, beautiful stun from Tims. And a 4-man overgrowth. The question is whether Boom can capitalize in with the epicenter, in with the demise bomb. Has to escape, but the Kissers will still find the support on Boom. BKB on the front lines, 423 though. He doesn't have enough damage to work through them, and the Shackle will hold him to his grave. They doom up the Sand King now, but he should be able to just piggy on out of here, pops his own BKB. And here comes Ghost with the Whirlwind. Had that on cooldown earlier in the fight because he was clearing a creep camp. It still ends up 2 for 2 for now. Definitely in the favor of Boom, considering the BKBs on Bruv were used and they still lost their carry.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah, I'm
under
not
attack.
quite sure what 423 was doing there so far up and away from his team, especially without Link. He used it, it got broken, and then he decided to stick around and try to man-fight not just a Viper, but a Wind as well. That's not it. That's, I don't know, I don't know what MMR you have to be to think that that's a good idea, but I'm sorry, but it's not it.
I mean, it's clearly whatever MMR 423 is, because I think, you know, he's played quite a bit of Razor at this point, but perhaps in that moment underestimating how strong his opponents have become. And every reason to do so, right? You gotta keep in mind how this game started. It was very overwhelmingly in his favor. His team was dominating, they were getting kills across the map, you know, none of the Boom plans were really working out to fruition. But it's a very different story now. 21 minutes on the clock, 17 to 19, less than 1k gold lead. And you're reaching a point where now you're dealing with a very strong tri-core. Mac does a shit ton of damage, and you got 2 auto-attacking beasts from range. Your Razor isn't this raid boss with the BKB anymore. He needs a bit more time to get some of these damage items and really position himself a bit more carefully.
See if that can come to fruition here. Nice move onto Bob. He is able to dodge it out, though. He also had a regen rune, so maybe you don't even kill him.
Yeah. As we expected, Boom, the second they hit their initial item timings with the blinks on the supports and Mac, they've just been keeping it rolling. I think Snapfire might have revealed herself a little bit there with a blast, and they're going to try and wrap around on the high ground. The TP away from Viper though, FBZ's given up on this preemptively. But maybe that's going to lull the side of Bruv into a false sense of security. I feel like that's a summary of this game, right? Because of the decent start that Bruv have had, I don't think they're really expecting how strong Boom are right now. In comes the Doom, instant hex up, Tim's a bit too quick with it. And you don't really want to out the Lion, but you'll Mortimer's kiss him for sure. Pop the coil on the solo support, and that's going to be the end of the fight for sure, unless Seimei can find some sort of angle. FBZ showing himself right now. But even 423 knows he can't be positioned so aggressively anymore, getting Hurricane Pike back to safety.
Man, that was almost a Gossamer Cape diff again. The Lion, the initial Infernal Blade gets dodged out, and it almost saved his life. I don't think Saber was expecting it in the least.
Yeah? At the start, he threw the Infernal Blade out and was ready to start backing up to let his team do the rest, but
yeah,
didn't realize the stun didn't go through, unfortunately. And back and forth we go, a very even game. This is what we wanted, Crash. And
it is.
Okay, so it seems like Boom are the primary ones still looking for an engagement, but now it'll be the time for Bruv to smoke up. Seems like whoever can get the jump will have the advantage naturally, but where do they want to fight is the question. They still have an advantage on this cliff, surely. This high ground vision is going to serve them well. An inkling about where the Boom heroes are. Lasso onto FPZ. That's a good target. Do not need it if you can just work him down. And Overgrowth holding down 5. But that's not going to be enough to stop the death of the Viper. It's full retreat now for Boom. Can't imagine Mac wants to try and turn on this. Especially without the tanky frontliner that is your Viper.
I love what Seimei does there. He immediately starts running forward. They know that the Viper isn't the target anymore, for the Doom at least.
Mac
that is...
tries for a barrel strike onto Bob under the tower, but it's a bit too slow on that one. Bob, his finger on the trigger. This mid-tier 1 still being up honestly surprises me, but I guess that's really just a Treant difference. Winding up the Epi, in he comes onto 423, no chance for BKB. He needs to be able to pop it, but he already has no HP. Finger of Death would shot him down, and the Doom's gonna fall as well. They lose nothing for that. That has to be the most telegraphed play. When you're grouping around a tier 1, you gotta expect the Sand King to be setting up, but they just weren't ready at all. Tim's gonna leapfrog forward and find another. Draining away the mana, just slowing down Tsukimoto, and the follow-up stun from Mac gets the kill. A 3-for-0 exchange. Bob and Tsukimoto are the only ones to escape there.
Man, what a sloppy... I don't even want to call that an engagement. What a sloppy push from Bruv. That was... I don't know what to call it. Ambitious, a big mistake, oversight, a lap in judgment? Why are you standing 4 heroes, you know, butt to butt with a Razor? Hello? Like, get away a little bit. Don't get like 3-4 men epicentered.
The thing is, they all got epicentered, but it's not even like they all got barrel struck, right? So that's the kind of situation where if they had like a Tusk or a Shadow Demon or any sort of save, it would be different. But now they're gonna come through again. They know Mac is gonna be around the area, and they catch him this time. So making up for the former little fumble there, this will open up the tower for real this time.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
What I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for is the first team that wants to take Roshan. Because neither of these teams are too good at it. So you're going to wait for some sort of big team fight to happen. You know, 3-4 heroes die. And then you want to start getting more aggressive, start looking at this Roshan, start looking at these tier 2 towers. But that's still maybe, you know, another 2-3, maybe even 5+ minutes away. Unless Boom can get a sneaky one in here. They are setting up in this top area. I don't know if it's for Roche or, you know, to take a fight in this area to then go take Roche. Either way, it could just open up Roche for either of these two teams.
Yeah. And quick item check here. Bob is finishing up that Lincoln, so that's going to make him significantly harder to kill. BKB is complete on all of the Boom calls, with Mac going for his Bloodstone very... And no surprises there, but just so much defensive potential. You got to imagine when the 5v5 actually happens, it's going to be complete chaos. So right now, it's Boom who are the ones to make the first initiative towards the pit, but here come Bruv.
They gotta get here fast, as Roshan is dying quickly.
Yeah, they know this is happening, but can they get here in time? They are quite a ways away. Underestimating the decisiveness of Boom. And they're a little slow. I think this Aegis is gonna go into the Boom hands. The question is whether they expect this move. Now DJ, found in the tree line, they'll kill off the Treant Protector. No Overgrowth and a beautiful coil onto 3, but they can still use the BKBs. Ghost able to just shoot down and get the Doom all the way down. Needs a Glimmer Cape to try and escape, and will be able to do so. But on the front line again, 423, he's just alone up here. He's gonna get worked down by Mac with his BKB. They can't get the last touches on him, but now he's trying to turn around, and the lifesteal is enough somehow. 423 somehow survives. Seimei will finally go down, but Ghost, he's back in the fray. They can't do much else with the Whirlwind running out.
Get a buyback online.
I think they even got the Aegis, right? They got the Aegis on Ghost.
They did.
The first life is gone. So honestly, a really, really good fight for Bruv.
A tree bought back too. I didn't even notice that. The DJ buyback.
Oh, they're looking for Tsukimoto. I mean, that's a consolation kill at the very... sorry, that's Sei. Yeah, I mean, that's a consolation kill. That's all you get from it. It's not how you wanted that Aegis to go.
No, a beautiful engagement from Bruv, recognizing that they can indeed, you know, still take a fight on the proper engagement. And they do so beautifully off the back of a Doom on the Viper, who was BKB'd. All of a sudden not able to do anything through that BKB. And, you know, Doom Razor's an interesting combo that, you know, I don't think I even began to think about. If you are linking someone who is doomed, there is a high chance you are going to siphon all of their damage into yourself before they die. Because you don't really do burst damage. Doom isn't burst damage, the ability. So, yeah, like we saw there, FBZ, all of his damage gone, no chance of survival anymore, and he just gets run down through the BKB. Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, apart from that, it's also just two abilities that completely single out targets from the fight and remove them from the equation, right? They can, you know, they can Doom on Mac, they can link up FBZ, and suddenly you're just, it feels like down 2 cores. I feel like this game is slowly devolving into who's getting the better jump and who has the vision, because the only mistake in going for the Roche first is that your position just becomes completely telegraphed. That's what allowed Bruv to take that fight, and now it's looking like a similar situation. FBZ in a lot of trouble. Mac coming through with the epicenter, but the BKB's already popped. He's gonna eat a Doom. Ghost doing as much as he can with the whirlwind, and 423 is in big trouble. Loses his life to the finger of death, and that's the Razor out of the picture. The lasso try and bring the Wind Ranger onto the high ground. The Kissers as well. Magic damage abounds, but where is the puck when they need him? Where is Bob? He's off to the side trying to juke and jive, but they need the magic damage and they just don't have it. The rest of Boom are able to sustain through the fight this time round. And I don't think it's a surprise to say that I think DJ saw them coming from a mile away.
Yep, the scan came out, so they had complete vision, or not complete vision, but a complete idea of what was happening there. And a lot of it came down to 423 siphoning damage from the Lion? Why? What is Tim's doing to you with his right clicks that require you to do that? Could you imagine if you were siphoning damage from Ghost while he's rolling there? That fight goes maybe completely different.
Yeah, I mean, 423, you could tell he was charging in with a hit full of steam, but he just couldn't find the target that he wanted. Now the barrel strike up onto Bob. Uh-oh, he can't afford to die like this on the puck, and even through the Lincoln Sphere, they managed to catch a stray mid laner. I mean, all respect to Bob, I think he's been playing pretty well this game, but really, it's just the back and forth, right? Whoever gets the initiative, whoever gets the jump, is the team winning the fight. And now, while you're trying to split push, trying to just get whatever you can on the map, you're hemorrhaging deaths here. You can't afford to keep losing lives. You need to just group up, play safe, and wait for the full force to come back and give it another swing.
Same thing you said about Boom. They're split right now. They've got to retreat.
The recognition is immediately there. Tim's probably slapping Mac on the back like, hey, get back here. We ain't doing the same thing. We ain't falling for the same mistake we just benefited from, right? We need to sort of play chill. It still feels like anyone's game at this point, despite the 4K gold advantage. It really means nothing at this juncture.
You know, I would say, but that 4K difference involves a wind with a now Daedalus completed. She's almost reached critical mass on this win, right? You only need 2-3 items for this hero to really, you know, start moving and start doing, you know, the big damage that you need. Lincoln Sphere will be the next purchase, but right now, with just BKB, Gleipnir, Daedalus, you might as well be a Lonely Druid, right? The Bare Necessities Druid, because that's all you need.
True. I mean, the Daedalus is going to do so much work, and I think especially handy is the Paladin Sword. How the Viper Strike come out, but say able to TP out before the two stunning duo of Mac and Tims could come through. The back and forth, this is exactly what we wanted. And the question is now, it's starting to slip out of the hands of Bruv, it feels like. The Doom alone is not enough. They need to try and burst down one of these targets and get 423 in a good position. Look at the sheer swing in the goal. I think that previous fight really cemented it in one direction for the first time. And I mean, that's exactly the way that Boom wants it, right?
Interestingly enough, my friend, we saw a Blink Dagger on Doom, which has now been sold for the Crimson Guard. Getting full use of this Devil's Bargain. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you're recognizing that this is the time you want to take a fight. Your Doom, your Blink Doom isn't really doing what it used to be. You just need to stand your ground. A lot of the damage is coming out from these two right clickers, like we mentioned, and Crimson Guard's going to go a long way in that regard.
Dire's top
And with your BKB as well, you aren't afraid of Mac initiating in on you. Like, you don't need to be the one to get the jump on him. As long as you get the Doom off, that's what's important. 4-2-3 now with a refresher orb as well, so double BKB, double link. This is where you can start getting a little crazy with your links, right, when you've got 2 of them. But ideally, you're getting 1 on Viper and 1 on Wind, and that is your perfect fight, right? That is the dream engagement for Bruv right now.
He actually has the shard on the Razor as well, which means that he can slowly pull his target towards him. Naga Siren and Snare style. Grouping around. Bruv. 2 sides of the same lane, just de-warding using the creeps, playing so cautious here. Whoever has the vision wins the fight. Whoever gets the initiative wins the fight. And both teams know this. Playing around the perimeter of their smokes. Ducking in and out. This feels like, I mean, bruv, 1 or 2 more fights and they might just lose this game. Like, they don't really have a lot more wiggle room to work with. And on the flip side, Boom, you know, I'm not trying to prophesize that they will lose the fight, but I'm saying there's a lot more room for error for them, it feels like.
Oh, absolutely. Even just looking at the towers, there's still a tier 1 standing for Boom. Right, so at best, you're getting these tier 2s and a tier 1 tower if you win and take next Roche, right? So, yeah, you can make a mistake here on Boom. It'll still be costly with Roshan coming up in potentially, you know, 25, 30 seconds. We'll see if it's going to be a long or a short spawner. Just now, it's going to be somewhat long. So, Boom, they can make 1 mistake and still get Roche.
Smart move from Boom, positioning themselves where the Wisdom Rune is, but Bruv are coming over. Can they get the Doom on Ghost? No, a huge stun. Helping Ghost out for now. He's able to escape. And the overgrowth as well. Mag, he's in the middle of all of them. And the moment it's gonna zap down Bo. He's down on the fight on the pop. And the BKB, same as he's trying to do his best. Doom finally gets out onto Ghost, but he's able to TP back to base. Say, trying to find the angle, but they're losing heroes on Bruv. FPZ on the front lines up against Tsukimoto. Way too tanky for them to deal with. And he's gonna try and TP away. He'll be fine. I mean, somehow, some way, the supports get it done, and they're still able to clean up, but that looks so promising for Boom. How did that even happen? Was that just Razor and the AoE damage?
Yeah, if you let me look at the damage graph, right, it was mostly all Razor sitting there between 3 heroes with Eye of the Storm, multiple Qs coming off, and also siphoning Wind's damage, which was the important part there. Ghost was in, Whirlwinded up, that was cool, that was great and all, but the damage was slowly being siphoned away, and you saw at the end tail of that fight there, Ghost was, you know, not really doing anything. He was doomed up, so he had to TP out of there and still ends up dying in his fountain.
That was messy, to say the least. Here I was thinking that Boom had the positional advantage in a spot where I don't think Bruv might have expected, but they just charge in anyway and get it done. It's a miracle that FBZ got out of there, but he's slowly reaching the point where he's becoming a carry himself, right? Sanjin Yasha, Hurricane Pike, Vindicator's act. Once he hits that level 25 talent, things are going to get a lot worse for Bruv. It feels like they need to try and make something happen before that point, because he's already just trucking out so much. He has the Predator damage per missing health. He's working down these tanky targets. It's looking really good for this Viper last pick.
Absolutely, and it doesn't even feel like there's too big of an aura diff this game, right? Like, you're not feeling the effect of this Viper being the offlaner. Roshan is going to be the next point of contention. Yeah, no, exactly. No pipe, no problem. Solar Crest, no problem. It doesn't matter. You have a lot of damage to make up for it.
Oh, the things come out. They're on the hunt. Find Tsukimoto. It's a fine target. It'll open up Roche, which means that Bruv, unless they want to buy back here, not going to be in a position to contest. Now, this Roche is on quote-unquote their side of the map, right? So they have the outpost they can TP to, but with no vision control whatsoever, it's going to be suicide if they try and come in now. So probably just going to give this one up. Looking to try and split push instead. They have to be wary about a wraparound potential. from Boom coming through the twin gates. DJ, the forward scout here.
You look at this ward on the high ground. They see Mac.
Okay, they grabbed him, but he has the aesthetics cap, the tier 4 item. They doom up on the Sand King, and 423 is just full committing for this kill. They get the Aegis on the Wind Ranger, who will be TPing back shortly, but now FPZ forced to pop his BKB as well. Starting to get zapped now, 423 just gets it done. Bob with a double kill. A bit of a messy start to the fight from Boom, and looks like DJ is gonna fall as well. 423 not able to escape from Ghost, who cleans up 2 members at the very least. The tips come through. Ghost, the savior of this fight a little bit, but what else can he find? Bob, you're trying to escape. Oh, the orb comes out, and they lose sight of the puck. That's all they'll find for now, but Ghost, no longer the sort of weak, puny Wind Ranger from the past, now trucking out a whole lot of damage. But Bob, gonna try and play around with the Wind Ranger just a little bit. Cookie stun up. Tim's in no position to help, and they'll actually get the Aegis. I was gonna say maybe they can wait for all the respawns to come through and try a second push, but yeah, Ghost just getting a little bit too cocky and underestimating the amount of damage between these two.
Said it once and I'll say it again. Snapfire does a lot of damage, and it just got disrespected in its fullest right there. I mean, just mistake after mistake after mistake for Boom. After we gave them the the idea, I guess, that they can make a few mistakes, and they're running with it. And I don't know if I like it, Sneeze.
Yeah, this is we were talking about the next crucial point of the game being Roche. They grab the Roche without any problems. They take a decent fight. And then they decide to TP back one by one, disrespecting the potential that Bruv could just get the jump on them. And that's exactly what Bruv do. To be fair though, and to give credit to the right parties, I think it was a very smart play from Bruv to position that way and try for the pickoffs. That's kind of carved open a little path for them back into this game. And win probability wise, it's looking a lot more even now. 35 to 65, Boom still in the advantageous position there. At least Mr. Gaben thinks so.
Just barely, but still in the lead. Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's that high even. I'd say more like 55-45. It feels that kind of close.
Yeah, again, it's literally just about the initiative. Both teams know that well at this point. Taking a lot of care to make sure the vision is clear, but there's still a bunch of deep wards in their own jungle. But you're at the point in the game where you're rarely, if ever, going to be moving by yourself, especially in situations where everybody is alive and nobody's showing. You can't just afford to be out on the map by yourself like this. It's a gem on the park, so if they move just a bit in the inner to their jungle, they're gonna find those wards and clear them out. Now Boom operating blind as well.
Radiant are scanning.
It's always scary when both teams have gems and you see all these wards getting dewarded. Because no one wants to operate blind in a Dota game, and now we see both teams doing pretty much that. Scary stuff.
Okay. Looks like there's a fight coming. Bruv, they're making a beeline straight for where the Viper is. They know he's there. They pull him in. Aesthetics Cap should allow him to pop the BKB, but he's not even going to. You talk about the gem. It's gone now. The coil finds Mac. The Aesthetics Cap back the other way. He's popping the BKB and full focus on the ball. The puck's in trouble. Shackled up and will get killed. Ghost pumping out a lot of damage, taking down Tsukimoto as well. But they lose the Viper and the Sand King for it. Now Ghost, he's trying to survive the remainder of the fight, but the Eye of the Storm just shocks him down to size. And Tims, he might be killing himself with this one. DJ goes down, and Tsukimoto, he might have died very early on, but the rest of his team is there to help him out. The gem goes down. They blew so much on Bob, it felt like, after losing FBZ initially. You gotta wonder whether that was the right move for Boom, whether they should have just retreated. But it ends up being an advantage Bruv's way. And 65, 35, 45, 55, it doesn't matter now. Feels like game's back to even.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I would now dare say the game is a little bit less even now, because Doom is up once again. We saw very quickly Seimei buy a refresher orb, sell it for a Octarine core now. And Tims, he might be in some trouble.
Dire's
What?
bottom tower
What was that?
I guess not. I guess Seimei just had like a... just kind of hated him a little bit. Personal vendetta, it seems.
I thought he was gonna just doom Tims.
I guess with the Aesthetics cap, you don't really want to. But Infernal Blade, War Stomp, you had other abilities to proc that Aesthetics cap. I'm not sure. Weird.
Yeah, I mean, also, he's the only one alive right now, and you could,
Yeah.
you know, keep the chase going for a little bit, but I guess he was just kind of scared. Yeah, Gray is pointing out to us, our observer. He's like, yeah, but there's a Glimmer Cape, man. Like, what are you talking? Are you stupid? You would have been fighting. Yeah, you're probably right, Gray. But I mean, you know, you see the refresh of the Doom, the Octarine. He's like sizing him up and looking for a kill. You know, with the sheer amount of zany moves everyone has pulled this game, I wouldn't put it past them. But opts for the safer play. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, it's Boom versus Bruv. Two teams that have fought their way through the lower bracket for the entirety of today. And I think it's at this point, maybe into game 2, where you'll start to feel a bit of that fatigue. Because I think I've heard it from a few pro players, playing a competitive match is like playing 3 or 4 pubs. Like, it's really not the same. The amount of strain, communication, and coordination that has to go into playing. Ghost showing himself, armed with a Lincolns and a BKB. He feels that that's going to be good enough for his team to get a counter initiation. Around the same location again, might just be a fight brewing. The previous time, Say was able to start this off with a very nice lasso on the poor Viper with AD rune. Hand it over to Ghost. Surely, bruv, you can't keep fighting despite this. There's no way you hang on. Don't strike in. Focus down onto Bob. Nice cookie and phase shift away. He should be fine, but the BKB already used from Mac. That's a little bit awkward now.
Ghost pops the AD rune as well. It's very awkward for Boom. They have to full retreat here.
Dire are scanning.
I mean, I'm
And
sure
initiation's
even if they
the name of
didn't
the
full
game,
retreat,
right?
like I think even if they didn't full retreat, brother, out of there. Like they want no business fighting you right now.
Oh, Tsukimoto, Aghanim Scepter. So the Gobble Up is now online.
Is he
Thoughts?
who's he Goblin? Like the Razor? Like that's pretty lit, right? You just toss him straight in.
Dire are
This is
scanning.
why
Toss him straight in, he
Seimeisol
gets like
Blink
2
Dagger
static
earlier.
lazy BKBs.
Yeah. Oh, they're cooking. Throw Sei in so he doesn't need to Blink Dagger in.
Oh,
Don't do that.
true,
Don't-
true.
Don't
I was
gobble
thinking,
up your supports and throw them in. Don't do it. I think at the end of the day, it's just a good save tool,
Radiant are scanning.
right? Like it's just
Yeah,
a full
that's fair.
like it's Pudge. It's worse Pudge eat, right? At the end of the day, it's just
Yeah.
worse Pudge shard.
yeah, Pudge isn't eating it. Pick your poison. Eaten by a dragon lizard, whatever Mortimer is, or eaten by a carnivorous fat man who promises to keep you quote-unquote safe. We don't know, but what we do know is, again, another one of these crazy fights is brewing around the Roche Pit. 13 seconds until that might potentially respawn in the top side of the map. And Boom have already established themselves in this area, put down some walls, talked about the importance of vision. They are operating blind here on Bruv. They don't know where their opponents are. It's only Bob showing on the creep wave.
No one has any scans either.
I'm gonna wrap in with some Razor illusions. FPZ will show himself. Has to be careful about a lasso, but Tim's ready and waiting to protect him. This is the classic
Roshan's
clear the
not gonna
creep
be up
wave
for
from the
another minute
side
and a
move. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. What is the play here? They're opting for the full wraparound. Slowly but surely. There's DJ in the tree lines though. It's gonna be the first point of contact. Just spot them out. Blinks away from the orb. Bob still has that. Oh, what? Wait, is that an illusion? They found
it
Ghost
was.
with a Razor illusion spit out, and that forces the BKB. Now things are feeling very weird. The Link and BKB used for 4-2-3 though, and the Burrow Strike now on the part. Okay, they have the control. Do they have the save? Try and force stuff out. Bob is down, but he can buy back and get back into this fight. That's what they have to do. In comes 4-2-3 for the second round. They try for the Doom, but they aren't really able to get it on a meaningful target. Things are getting messy now for Bruv, and if the side of Boom can just escape, it'll be more than worth it. Ghost with the TP out, they can't break the Lincolns. Now they're just gonna hope for the Roche to be settled before the side of Boom can regroup. But 4v5 situation, Tims is still in the area. Getting advanced information for his team, Tsukimoto right in front of him, but he has no idea. Oh, on the hunt now. Catches a glimpse of the Snapfire and DJ's in as well. The statics cap isn't going to save him for long. Tsukimoto going to try and buy himself time with the spit, but he will go down. And despite the buyback on the puck, despite them with the advanced wraparound maneuver and the initial jump, 4-2-3 just gets pushed back by a simple Hurricane Pipe from FBZ, and that breaks everything wide open.
Thank God that standstill didn't last too much longer, Sneeze. I was getting incredibly anxious just watching both of those teams circle around each other. But at the end of the day, it falls down to Boom with good disengage. Right, the engagement from Boom initially was messy as well. Right, initiating on the Wind solo with Coil when she is Lotus Orb Lincoln's BKB'd up. You are not doing anything to her at that point, literally nothing. So, just, yeah, a weird sort of start to the fight for Bruv, and I find it curious that they still decided to take that fight. Like we talked about, initiation is everything. We saw Boom botch initiation to disengage, as Bob gonna get caught on here.
Oh, Bob, no, that's gonna be a dieback. Tries to show himself in the mid lane, but that might prove to be a mistake. The Flame Break bump back, Bob needs to play his way out of this one, but he can't. The root is there, and they chain down the puck 2 minutes without your mid laner. But can 4-2-3 turn this around? The shot down Mac, he doesn't have a buyback either, and Ghost gets bumped back to a safe distance. Lightning shrugged off by the Manta, and Tsukimoto TPing in. That is ballsy to say the least. They'll just jump in over the cookie, over the aesthetics cap, and start the poison attacks out, but they don't dare to chase up to the high ground.
Hey, can you guess who got doomed that fight?
No clue.
It was Tim's, believe it or not. I don't know why, but it was. Finger was on cooldown, all the other abilities were off on cooldown. That was weird, to say the least.
I mean, Tim's is doing mad work in these fights, so I can kind of understand. You know, I feel like these kind of things usually happen when you feel like you're at a disadvantageous position. You just kind of realize, oh, you know, we have so many problems. In the previous fight, the Lion really messed us up. I need to doom him, and you kind of fall into this tunnel. Right now, it's Ghost on the high ground with that Aegis, feeling confident. They don't really have any good ways of wave clearing, actually, other than the Spit and maybe the Razor Q, but if you're up that close, you might just be dead. Should be an easy lane of racks, perhaps even two. Hyper with the shard and with that Roche banner.
Just buying time for this puck to respawn. Fortification isn't meant to save the racks, just delay the inevitable. Doom is back up. The ability, not the hero. He's been alive the whole time.
Thank you.
Yeah, just wanted to, clarify. Very important.
Looks like it's gonna be 2 racks. They have that second glyph from the first racks going down, of course, but well respected actually. The puck respawn is coming a bit too close for their fancy, and even with the Aegis,
and
they
Max
don't want to be caught in a position. Yeah, that's fair.
So kind of a double whammy there.
Yeah, Max already pieced out of the. He's like, yeah,
yeah.
I found balance here. I can't do anything to these towers, so I'm just farm.
Yeah, okay. I don't want to get doomed anymore. Sorry, guys, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm good. You know, Tims, you can keep eating those. It's all good.
Yeah,
51 minutes
absolutely.
In, and you take a look at the graph. You know, the recent hype up really betrays how back and forth and insane this game has been. It's always been since the past 35 minutes. Whoever gets the initiative gets the win. And I think even in that situation where Bruv were going for that crazy wraparound, it felt like Boom were completely ready for it.
Yeah.
Now, you're currently battling with the idea of whether you want to go high ground or not. It might just end up in a situation where you're just waiting out an overextension out of the base from Bruv, because walking up into the lanes like this is just going to allow them full setup. Now, Lincoln Sphere Lotus Orb, like you mentioned in the Roche banner saved from a previous Roche, could just be enough leverage for them to try and get this lane of rags. 1 more minute on the Aegis, they want to put it to full use. Lasso onto DJ. They'll settle for the support. The BKB forced out from Say just to get that attempt through as well. As 4-2-3 jumping forward, but he's slow to a crawl. Pops the BKB and the refresh. Trying to zap through the damage, but he's losing too much life. He's losing too much HP, and he doesn't have the lifesteal to get out of this one. Somehow still sustaining and cooking back to safety. Ghost, he's falling, but he still has the second life available. The Razor, not the same privilege, but he won't lose his first. On the front line, so they'll control up Bob and take him down. The Park again out of the equation, and the Gleipnir goes. He's ready to party. Whirlwind back up in 1 second, and he's gonna start blasting away. This is the shooting gallery, and the targets are all dead. Buyback on both supports, but 3v5. Not really sure how you play away out of this one. 24k gold lead. It's finally cemented. Level 25. We didn't even mention it for FBZ, but he is an absolute beast. And you buy back on the Doom now. As one Doom to try and make it happen. They'll spit out the Razor, bring him into the fray. Look for a Doom onto Ghost. They'll be able to get it, but the Lotus Orb reflects it. Taking Seimei out of the equation, and 4-2-3 will just get gunned down. GG is called as Bruv. They try their hardest to swing this game back into their favor over and over and over. But in a battle of resilience, Boom come out on top, and they'll take game number 1.
Do you think a sort of game devolves like that because of just plain old experience? Or, like...
Tim's Rubik. Game number 2, Boom. Very close to moving on here for a rematch against Aurora or Talon. And to really prove themselves. And, I mean, bruv, similarly, you know, you mentioned at the start of this entire qualifiers, you would love to see a team, one of these Augler stacks, to really go the distance and test the mettle of some of these signed organizations. They're gonna have to reverse sweep this series if they want to do that.
Hey, it'll tick all the boxes, Sneeze. It'll give us a game number 3 that we wanted. It'll give us the upset that we wanted. Look, I'm never one to outright vote for a game 3 against a team, but maybe I'm just gonna favor Bruv just a little bit more because of it. Maybe just a tad bit more, you know?
All I will say is that in the moments that we've seen Bruv succeed, it's been overwhelming, number 1, and number 2, it's been fast and just really, really decisive. I'm not really sure whether this draft that they've constructed for themselves can do that, but I feel like I also said that about the other drafts, that they've done that exact game plan. So maybe they can surprise us, go back to a bit of that form that we saw earlier today where they were sharp, they made decisions quick, they knew exactly who they wanted to rotate where, the map split was beautiful. But against such a strong team like Boom, and against that Naga Siren scouting capability, that might prove to be a bit of a problem. But we'll have to see here. Game number 2. It's looking to be a 2-for-2 rune trade. Okay, ends up being 3-for-1 actually. Boom weren't really in a good position to secure the one in their own jungle. So Seimei is able to snatch it away. Early advantage that way.
I think one thing I'd really like to see this game is Tsukimoto put some investment into himself. Right? He is on a more greedy position 4. Sure, you can do things without items, but Batrider certainly wants that blink, wants that 4 staff. So maybe what you do is go make stacks for yourself. If you don't end up going to take them, the Luna certainly can. So either way, like, you want to make those stacks.
Yeah, and on the sort of topic of the interesting facet that he put in the Arsonist, now I don't think it's a strong enough facet that you're playing around it as, say, not going to get run down because he still has Magic Stick charges, thought there was going to be First Blood there, but yeah, the Arsonist, there might be a bit of a focus for Tsukimoto where he's going to stick around for extended periods of time in this top lane just to keep napalming down this tower. It might just be part of a greater game plan that Bruv are concocting, maybe move over to the mid, start Arsonisting the tower as well. Just open up the map for his Kanka to play and the Luna to feel a bit safer. We'll still have to see. I mean, you know, you talked about him playing a bit more greedy, but I assume a lot of his time is going to be spent making stacks for this Luna in the triangle.
I mean, the cool thing about stacks, Sneeze, and I know this is coming as a greedy pause 4 sort of position here, but the cool thing about stacks is you can always make them again.
He can farm it himself.
You can always just make more. Yeah. Just, you know, if you get a 2-3 stack early on, like before 10 minutes, farm it up at the 10-minute mark, you can get another 2-3 stack by the time Luna's ready to move on to the triangle.
Where are you? I was watching the top lane a little bit. Tsukimoto was trying for a flame break to put DJ in an awkward position, but they weren't able to bump him close enough to the Doom to warrant any sort of a chase. Continue blocking this hard camp to prevent any pulls from coming through. All in all, I don't think Ghost should ever be in any trouble in this lane just because the leaps out back to safety. But Tim's certainly is, if he's going to get run down like that now. There is quite a bit of snot built up on Sei, but the Centaur helping out the cause and stomping onto FBZ, stopping that chase.
Centaur MVP so far. That's Sei's life. Tim's is
top lane.
Not feeling too
There's
good.
A bit of an arrow set up
one,
onto Tsukimoto.
Oh,
DJ able to pull him back with the net. The last few auto attacks. Tsukimoto with the fairy fire. Still available. Okay, we'll pop it on the last. Ghost can't connect. He really left it until the last moment there. I was like, surely he pops it now. Like, what is he waiting for? But yeah. Nice attempt there. A lot of these sort of potential kills are really arising from the whole, you know... Oh, yeah, surely Sene just bodies that for his ally. And looks like they'll be able to run down DJ. Very awkward. I mean, good attempt from DJ, but definitely overstepping his bounds there.
Yeah. And that was up to Seimei too to make or break that engagement. Because if Tsukimoto gets arrowed, it ends right then and there.
Absolutely. Tsukimoto screaming in the microphone or something like that in the team comms.
Help me, help me!
How do you say help in Mongolian? I don't know.
I don't know why you're asking me that question. What if I knew? What if I just whipped that one out?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. If you just popped it out, I think everyone would be very impressed. Might just hire you as the manager of Bruv123 and ask you to find them a sponsor. Because you're just that charming.
I just keep saying help to all the sponsors.
yeah, they send you to Mongolia, you're just saying help over and over, and they're just like, what is this tourist asking about?
Help, he needs help, clearly.
Yeah, they send you to the hospital or something, and you're just sitting there like, suddenly, Bruv123 sponsored by the largest hospital chain in Mongolia.
Ooh.
He's done. That's a pipeline. That's a pipeline and a half.
Yeah, yeah. That's a pipe dream and a half. Are you kidding me?
No, this is like the Sulaiman Al Habib of North Asia, right? The DJ being run down here. The sticky napalm is going to be enough damage. Nicely done. This Ghost a bit too low to contribute. Throws out a Star Storm just to, you know, get some damage on, but pretty low on the resources himself. I mean, they gotta watch out, because I feel like if they TP back in here, a dive is definitely possible. Timson might try and TP in, but he's not really the helpiest either. Ghost starting to get run down. I'm gonna force the issue without the Scorched Earth though. But definitely a little bit of a struggle here for this Mirana. CS-wise as well, not doing the hardest. Gonna try and set up with arrow onto the Doom. Nicely. Ghost though, yeah, again, he's just gonna get clicked down. And I don't think DJ can get a return kill. Seimei's just gonna walk this one off, and Tsukimoto has more than enough mana to try and chase. Finally, the TP comes in, but it's far too late. Tims. He didn't get the invite in time. So try and find the Doom the set. Okay.
Oh man, you saw the staff get raised. The cast animation was there, but just wasn't quick enough, just barely.
Yeah, that's a moment where the Mongolian hospital would have done good advertising, right? Like extending healthcare and like lifespan or whatever.
Yeah.
See,
you're better at this than I am.
Already for you for the... Yeah, but I don't know how to say help in Mongolian. That's my issue. Okay, if not, I would have already taken the job.
It's the only requirement.
Yeah. DJ has rotated, but it's gonna be one in the bot lane, so Sei will snatch that up. Good awareness from both Bruv supports to make it there, because just alone in the one-to-one matchup, the Pango's always going to have the advantage there due to the mobility.
No, okay, surely. Okay, Tim's nice lift away.
And what do you mean? It's like level 1 Hammer of Purity. At most, it's like 1 or 2 more auto attacks if he doesn't want to use that. But
he got the Blood Grenade there too, plus the Degen Aura Slow. There was a chance.
Yeah, he ain't even got... Yeah, I mean, he got shoes, I guess.
He'd have to literally not use any of his abilities on Tim's, but still, there was a chance.
Oh, Sei's going for it. Look at this man.
Why would you not? Your shield ruined up.
Ooh, he's on a mission. Okay. Tims. Actually got a TP... Wait, Tims is dead? Nice self. Max got a TP in. They need a Rolling Thunder to prevent this lift away as well. But that means Sei should be able to get out of this scot-free. They'll ring around the Rosie. They are not going to have stuns once this runs out. He can just TP out. Yeah. Heads up play from Sei. Nice moves there from the Omni Knight. Forcing that rotation and opening up the mid lane, actually. I thought they were making a move on the DJ, but I guess just Bob alone is not going to be enough. Just going to push this creep wave in. Get some good space and good farm. Top of the net worth now. All 3 calls on Bruv doing very well for themselves. This has the makings of a typical Bruv siesta, where they just boogie down and get an early advantage and start running at you endlessly.
Run is notoriously, you know, one of those carries that looks a little poor for the first 10, 12, 13 minutes of the game until that Maelstrom comes online, and then starts ramping up. Luna, on the other hand, is a hero that will consistently and constantly farm, and it's not until that man style that things change around. Say, rune farm.
Oh, he is pretty tanky though. They'll pull back FBZ. Nice plays there. Bob still has the ghost ship available if this fight extends, and looks like they want to get Mac. He still has the swashbuckle and the shield crash coming off cooldown, so no real way of catching that Pangolier. A nice pick off onto FBZ. The Bristleback hasn't really been dominating the lane as much as he would want, and a lot of that is just because Sei has been doing a great job in terms of bodyguarding the Luna.
Yeah, and this matchup is actually, like, now that I'm thinking about it more, it is fine for the Luna, right? Just because of those Lucent Beams, you can secure every range creep. Bristleback has a hard time getting on top of you now that you have more points to the Lucent Beam. I kind of like this matchup now. I don't know if Boom were expecting this matchup to be so, off-kilter for the Bristleback.
Nice try from Sei here. He's been trying to contest the vision around the triangle, and this is the recovery plan for FBZ, right? You were talking about how he's not really having the matchup that he wanted, but he'll always have the triangle to fall back to, and no one else this early on wants to farm those stacks, so not too bad. Sei denying the bounty, but Mac, he's gonna walk the other way. Rolling Thunder setup onto the Luna, left alone. 4 members from out of nowhere. The TP from Bob, he was making his way down here as well. And the Ghost Ship isn't really going to result in much. Ghost just eats that one in the face. And with 5 members of Boom down here in the bot lane, it doesn't look like this is a defense that's very palpable. Unless more TPs come in. Now, Sei has the Doom. He can come through the Twin Gates. Looks like he's making his way there very shortly. But Bob has got to watch himself. Sure, he has the backup of the Omni. Quite a bit of damage onto Boom. Looks like that fight will subside. Doom's not going to have to make the trip over. Just continuing to farm up in the top lane. That looked a bit hairy for a moment for Bob. I thought he was going to go down as well. Okay. Sei. This is his moment of redemption. Scorch stuff. Ring around the Rosie. Not going to be successful. It is daytime. Sees you bright and clear. An excellent pick off from Sei.
Good first use of Doom. I think that, sometimes you can fall into the, I want to use Doom, there's no one in my lane, you force something and it just amounts to, at the all end of the day, all nothing. And you've given up a lot of your farm, you've given up any sort of tower pressure. So I like that Sei is just sort of, sticking into his lane and trying to just kill off anyone who comes there. Screw the cooldown, just use Doom.
Yeah, I'm glad he's also getting a bit more of the performance that you expect from someone who's confident enough to first pick Doom, right? Top of the net worth, getting solo kills on carries. That's more in line with what you're thinking a Doom specialist would look like. And yeah, I mean, he's having a really good lane. A lot of it is thanks to Tsukimoto, of course, on the Bat Rider, for sure, but that is very much his job. And Tsukimoto, speaking of, is getting his way towards the Blink Dagger in just about 600 gold. So a pretty good game for this Bat Rider. First item, Vanguard though, for the Doom, just to resist some of that physical damage a little bit more. Don't hate this choice.
No, Crimson Guard is a great first item in this game. You don't need anything else. Like, what's the magic damage from Boom, right? Tim's? Cool. That's it.
Yeah, that's about it. And maybe Mirana Starstorm, if you're lucky.
Starstorm, yeah. Maelstrom, I guess, if you want to get technical.
Yeah. A little bit of chain lightning if you actually want to get down to the fine details.
Yeah. But it's nowhere near enough that you want to build a pipe.
Oh. They might have just found the Luna. What's gonna get popped? Stolen. Okay, the Glaives is not really what you want. And now that Sei's here, can just TP away. Bye-bye. Lol. Okay, cool. As Sei has more than done his job. They're actually gonna TP in to try and support him. The Kanka's here. They might just lose Sei, but looks like the setup is coming out on the Bristleback. I don't really know whether that's the target that you want. You give over Purification as well. Tims is heading over to help his ally out. They lasso up the Bristleback, and they should be able to finish off FBZ. There's the kill on the Bristleback. Great prioritization from Bob, but he might just pay for it. Second Starstorm coming through. Oh, just dodging out the arrow. Rolling Thunder still available. Max just gonna eat a Doom. Stolen by Tims, and the reset potential is potentially there. Oh no, Tims doesn't want to use it right. He's just gonna wind up and back up, but now you gotta play extra careful. Tims is a menace.
Hold, wait, buy your time. A smoke being bought immediately by DJ. They should want to immediately make an engagement with this Doom. That is a humongous pickup from Tims. If you could use it twice, that would be ideal, but you'd be cutting it very close.
Radiant's bottom tower.
All in all, it was a really good try on Say's life, but it just doesn't... It's not enough. The Omni Knight is just so tanky. With spells at this stage of the game, you don't have the damage to work through him. But you do have the damage to deal with Tsukimoto when he's all alone down here. He's going to ping out the ward that was left there. A very sort of obvious move. Yeah, I mean, he's just circling the entire area. DJ's calling for them to play mid. Tims, okay. Yeah, I mean, Tims just tries to go ahead of the team and set something up, not really expecting the full squad of Bruv to be there.
It's unfortunate too. You would have really, truly loved to get that Doom off, even to just die and use it. Very unfortunate that they get nothing out of that. I don't know if that opportunity is going to arise again. Same way, you can only make that mistake so many times until it starts getting out of hand with the Rubik.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's exactly what they picked the Rubik for, to be fair. And Tims is literally one of the best Rubiks, if not the best Rubik in Southeast Asia, period. So, you know, I'm gonna cut him a little bit of slack on that. I still think he's doing a great job this game. The network reflects that as well. Still the 3k gold advantage for Bruv here. It's just a matter of how they maneuver these next 5 to 10 minutes. It feels like this Mirana is going to slowly catch up. You're still at the stage of the game where FBZ is not a factor, much similar to his Viper performance. But he is just one component away from the Aghanims, and at that point, he's going to be a bit of a damage threat to your supports.
Mac knows something's up. His spidey senses are tingling.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
His spidey senses and also his eyes probably telling him that no damn Radiant hero is showing on the map.
Yeah, that too.
It's not going to stop that lasso from coming through though. Stolen sticky napalm. Nice preemptive measure from Tsukimoto. The Rolling Thunder isn't going to save him. DJ now trying to bait with an illusion. Can Seimei find the right one? Gets juked a little bit, and the deluge slow down. Should at least secure them the tier 1 tower that they were sort of gunning for from the get-go anyway. So nice move here from Bruv.
Everything's lining up, Sneeze. It's all lining up. I don't want to call it too soon, but this is the game plan that Bruv wanted to hit, and boom, they got to start doing something soon. Aghanim Scepter should be complete very shortly on the Bristleback. You have Blink Daggers. You need to do something. Doom the Rubik.
It's happened again.
Walk away.
It's happened again. Now they can just wait. They're going to arrow focus up Seimei. Looks like the Doom's going to go down. Sei can't get in range to use his spells. I say that. Oh, everything at the kitchen sink. But the Stolen Guardian Angel this time, Tims, he has to watch himself. He is losing so much HP to the Tidebringer. I mean, this fight has just gotten so awkward. Bob will finally clean up the Rubik. And in comes Tsukimoto as well, looking for just damage spread out. Keeping the high ground vision. Starting to get shot down by Ghost though. But FBZ, next one to fall, just getting clicked down. Bob is just such a reliable frontliner, especially with that aura of the Crimson Guard. Flame Break, can you find someone else? Ghost, slow down just a little bit, but the question is whether it's going to be enough. Bob looking for the X-Marks, finds the connection, and looking for the boat crash. No, the leap out right in time. Good patience there. X back in the fray. Rolling Thunder was attempted previously, so it's on cooldown still. They don't have any way of chasing, but the lasso is back up and the Luna is here. Eclipse onto Mac. He's trying to get onto the low ground. Unsuccessful. The second death for this Pango as Bob, the tips have started coming through. Everything according to plan for Bruv.
This is the moment that the switch flips. Bob is feeling himself, and that's what you want. You want Bob, specifically Bob, to feel empowered every game that he plays. He does a whole buttload of mental damage to the enemy team.
Now, I will say that I don't think any of the Boom members are very tiltable, especially if you're like DJ and you played with on Fnatic with jabs for like ages. I feel like it just develops an immunity to this kind of stuff. But yeah, I completely see what you're saying. I think when Bob's feeling himself, his play just gets like positively amplified by 20%. Sure, he gets a bit aggressive and overtly so sometimes, but I think this game, even with the facet choice, you can tell he recognizes what his job is, right? He just needs to be on the front line. Blade Mail into the Aghanim Scepter pick up now. It's just gonna keep his team alive and him on the front lines as well.
I think the big thing that really changed that last fight was indeed the Crimson Guard. Right? You just, all of a sudden, you saw Boom not outputting any sort of damage whatsoever. I didn't even notice the Aghanim Scepter on Bristle. Like, I knew that he had it, but the damage was completely mitigated. Mirana was hitting like a wet noodle, and Mirana will continue to hit like a wet noodle because it's just Maelstrom Shard. No BKB in sight, no Gleipnir in sight. You still need a lot of time for this Mirana to start doing things. On the other hand, Luna is more than ready.
Yeah, it's honestly why I questioned the Bristleback pick a little bit. It was a bit of a weird one to me. Jump on DJ, get the lasso out to prevent any type of song, but the Rolling Thunder coming through. All you've stolen is a sticky napalm. Trying to focus down the Bat Rider, but the full defensive maneuvers coming out from Say. The Mongolian hospital is ready and waiting to save his allies. And now in with the Doom onto Mac. The Pango's gone as well. Great response there and great patience from Bruv, waiting on the high ground, knowing that Boom would come up this path.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that in the distance, Sneeze? Do you hear? It's the
what is it? I hear it, but I don't know what it is.
I hear it. They're saying Game 3. They really want it, and I think, bruv, they want it too, and I think they might just give it to us. If they can keep shutting down Ghost, if they can take a well-timed first Aegis and start running down these tier 2 towers before Ghost is ready, they have a good shot at taking this game if they just keep up the momentum, keep playing the way they are, keep being unafraid of using their big cooldowns off cooldown, and just constantly slewing spells at Boom, leaving them unable to really respond in any sort of way.
Song coming out here. You want to close it right in time for the bolt. The chain stun is perfect. And this time they don't have Guardian Angel to save Bob, but they do have the Heavenly Grace. Opting for the TP, the physical, it's simply not enough. The Admiral's Rum is just so powerful, reducing heaps of damage. You're gonna try and find more of the pounces forward. Things come out, they spotted someone, but this chase, it's not gonna last very long, especially if Say can literally just sidestep the arrow. Who cares?
Seime's here to play now too. You gotta be careful. Big bad Doom with a Shield Rune and Crimson Guard. There's not much you can do anymore.
Oh, the mana burn as well, right? That's gonna do a number on the Bristleback.
Oh, it's so annoying. We're already seeing Bristleback get annoyed by it. Mana boots. You have to now on Bristleback, to be fair, but still being forced to pop them every fight. It's kind of scary.
Okay, this is kind of lit though, because I was gonna say Tim's managing to steal the Ghost Ship, but if he just dies now, I guess it doesn't matter. Steals a Heavenly Grace, but that's limited. And that's gonna open up Roche for the side of Bruv. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them just waltz into the pit. Yep, sure enough, pinged by 423. Wants to get this Aegis for himself and get the push going. Again, this is the trajectory that Bruv were taking to every single victory that they had today. The early aggressive moves paying off, Seimei having a performance, and this is almost like a direct counterpoint to what we were saying. We were talking about how Seimei, even on this Doom, it's never been a situation where it felt like he's carried the game. Sure, you know, the other components of Bruv are playing very well as well, but this game it feels like he is making a very significant difference.
Absolutely, and it honestly, it has to... Hello? Whose Solar Crest is that? Was that... Is it still on the ground?
What do you mean?
Was that... Something just got left in the pit. Yeah, there's a Solar Crest in the pit, Sneeze.
Wait, why?
Say's Solar Crest is just sitting in the pit. Oh,
no. Yo, Say, yo, oh my god. Wait, he has no idea. He's looking for his Solar Crest now. He's like, where the... Where the hell did it go? I mean, that's not gonna stop Bruv from still running at their opponents here. They kill off the Naga Siren. But wait, what? His Solar Crest is just in the pit? What the hell? Why did he drop it?
That's a good question. I don't have the answer to it
It's the
either.
most random thing. This is so funny. What the heck? He's like, he just has to be a bit like careful with his career because like there's actually Tims in the area. So if he somehow dies and the Solar Crest is on the courier, it's gonna be a disaster. But I think he remembers now. Okay, Solar Crest retrieved.
Oh, thank God.
He can't see in the pit. He can't
Oh
see
my
in the
God.
pit.
Of course he can't.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, I mean, our observer tell. I mean, meanwhile, actions just being missed. Mac is gonna go down to what I assume was a Doom. Oh, this is hilarious. Someone is gonna have to go there and retrieve the goddamn
Dire's
Solar
middle
Crest,
tower
man. Like,
is under attack.
oh, he's gonna go there himself
He's got it, he's
personally.
got it,
Okay,
he's
we're
got
done.
it.
We're done. He's got it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're back. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
thank
What a
goodness.
silly
That
moment
was-
there from Say.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oops.
Yeah. He's just standing there reflecting a little bit. He's like, how do I get back to my team? Like, I'm so far away. Like, what are we doing?
Dire's middle tower is under
Safely,
attack.
too, specifically, because Mirana and Naga are showing top under a ward. You know, you just kind of have to sit here with your Doom now.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, this is just gonna be a pretty convenient, like, wrap around, get all the tier 2s. Not much that Boom really want to do to contest, right? It's gotta be like a high ground defense. I don't suppose they want to fight outside their base.
Not at this point, no. I mean, you've got 4 kills to your name. It's not one of those situations where you want to be out there looking for too much. Safely farming, getting your next round of items. Miranda desperately needs like a... I don't even know, like BKB doesn't really do anything for you this game. It's nice for the Luna, the Eclipse, but you're gonna need a few other items. And 423 is getting incredibly close to a butterfly. That's the game ender right there.
Yeah, that's...
That makes it so that no one
Yeah.
on Boom can hit you. Plus the Crimson Guard, you're not taking any damage.
The weird thing is 423 is posturing here, but he is completely alone. The rest of Bruv are actually wrapping onto DJ, showing on the wave right now. With good reason to believe that is the real Naga Siren. Question is whether they can catch her. Now the mirror images are going to cause a bit of confusion now. I'm not really sure what the intention of this move is, right? Like, why don't you just, you know, stick together and try and get the Luna enabled? I guess she's gonna join the team by going to the Twin Gates eventually. And the Naga Siren is able to escape with a very hits-up preemptive song, so well played for DJ.
How did DJ know? I guess he always saw the flames. Obviously. I figured it out.
Oh, Ghost is caught though, and he doesn't have the same privilege. Tidal Wave pushing the Mirana back. A little bit of a missed combo though. Tsukimoto. Wow.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
That was a fumble and a half.
Bob's kicking himself for that one, for sure.
Yeah, that's... I think that... I mean, I get that there were always going to be leaps, but I do think there are a few different ways you could have played that to prevent that exact situation from happening. So, a bit of a fumble. A Ghost kill would have just opened up the high ground immediately. But, you know, they still might try for it. 423 is still working on that tower. We'll finally get the tier 2. Couple more minutes on the air. No, sorry, not even minutes. Just seconds, actually. 30 to be precise. It's not gonna hinder them, though. Feeling very strong with that butterfly. Like you mentioned, this might just be the game ender.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Solar Crest on the Luna as well. Give the Luna all the auras. Make the game easy for 423.
FBZ pulled back by the Tidal Wave. The Rolling Thunder in though. Look for an angle to bump them around. Here comes the Doom. A double stun. It's perfect. Oh, the Doom onto Ghost, but stolen by Tims. And that's it. Okay, well, yeah, they'll just back off. They are playing a little bit reserved. I guess they're worried about the Aegis timeout. Sure enough, they'll be reclaimed.
Dire's bottom
And
barracks are under
they're
attack.
happy to just give the Doom over and chill. I guess that scared them a little bit too much. Immediately on the smoke out Boom, though, they want to find an opening.
Very scary to give Tims now max arcane supremacy this Doom.
I guess the one upside is he doesn't have a blink, because he's been poor, right? He bought the shard himself, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know whether he got it from the Tormentor or something, but oh, smoke gonna break now. They see Seimei into the trees, net him up. Arrow as well, but the Heavenly Grace, of course, he's completely... Oh, he's stuck in that animation for a little bit here, but... The Crimson Guard actually preserving the tower for a very long time. It still will end up going down.
Man, one Doom steal, and look at the respect being shown by Bruv. Right, they recognize how game-changing that ability is, not just for them, but for their enemies as well.
Bro, if there's one team that respects Doom...
Yeah.
Like, these guys, they respect it so much they first pick it every game they can, like.
Got all the ultis, everything but Solar Flare up on Boom. You still have that Doom. Maybe you don't want to take a full 5-on-5. Anything without the Luna would be ideal, but you could certainly look for a pick-off on someone.
They're playing more defensive though. Boom have just completely retreated, and the line's actually being drawn by Sei. He's the one who wants to get action happening. Saying, I'm ready to save you guys. Let's just move. They smoke on top of a ward. This could be scary. Boom had full knowledge of this. Again, this is what defined the entirety of the previous game. The Doom onto Bob. This is a problem. But the lasso, they found Tims. They're still going to full focus the Kanka down though. Without this control, without the run, can they really win the fight? Tims managing to save himself there. And the Doom now onto the Naga Siren, stopping the save potential. So DJ's going to go down. But Mac, he's still laying in so much damage in this fight. The real question is whether they can bring down 423. He's just bouncing glaives left, right, and center. And now onto Ghost. Still trying to click away on the Luna, but you just can't hit her because she has a butterfly. Evasion, a bound, the swashbuckle the wrong way. And the lifesteal, it's gonna be enough. The remaining members of Bruv get it done. And FBZ behind the trees, the quills will reveal him. He'll try and pop his little bristleback. He'll kill off the Doom, but it comes at the cost of his life. It's a full team wipe for Bruv.
And you know, the stars sort of aligned for Boom too, right? They get the Doom off on the Kunkka. The Doom goes on to the Naga Siren, which actually might have been the correct move, right? No Song of the Siren means that fight is really awkward for Boom. This is one of those rare situations where dooming the support was definitely the way to go forward.
I mean, again, you talked about this butterfly being the game ender. That was the difference maker. The Mirana just wailing on 423 non-stop to no avail. And Mac, unfortunately, him alone, just not enough damage on this Pangolier. All he had, I mean, he has a Nemesis Curse, sure, but he doesn't actually have any damage items other than the base damage of his abilities.
One of the final double jumps that may have killed off 423 got cancelled by a flame break from Tsukimoto. Well, unintentional or not, it was very good, and it did potentially save 423's life, so good on him for that.
Yeah. Bit of a setup here. Looks like Bob had found Ghost, forcing the Song of the Siren out. The Ghost Ship used as well. The Steel, though. He didn't use any other abilities since then. And the Luna on the front lines, very, very confident. No BKB or anything, but just trusting fully in the Omni Knight. Now Tsukimoto in some trouble, getting low on the Bat Rider, but they still can't break through the front line of Bob and 423, just standing their ground, forcing the Guardian Angel out. But 423 is full HP. They're gonna torrent up now, jump in with a double stun, Eclipse coming through and raining down onto DJ. They've stolen it now on Tims, you gotta be careful. So far, Tims and his stolen abilities have been the deal breaker for Boom and kept them in this game. Just like that, Bruv will show some respect. Lower HP on Sei, low mana on 423. Just a quick reset back to base with the X-Marks. One of the tricks you can do with Kunkka.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily respect or necessity, right? They need to lick their wounds, they need to go get ready to take this Roshan that's respawned.
That's true, although I wonder whether they're just going to keep it going because Doom is available. They are worried about the Eclipse and Tims potentially smacking someone down to the curb, but 423 is still immensely strong, and this is a Rex exposed after all. I mean, even just the illusions are doing so much of the glaives, man.
SC's back to pretty much full HP as well, yeah.
Yeah. Hospital back up to full working capabilities here. Arrow into 423, nice little self-hurricane pipe. Trying to get full Eclipse out onto him, but again, he's literally taking no damage. They just get eviscerated. Tims has to buy back, and looks like Ghost might be next. Nice lasso. Mac breaking that up with a beautiful Rolling Thunder. And that buys the team some time. The Bristleback's TPing back in now. Bob, he has to watch himself. The arrow's coming straight for him, forcing the BKB, but oh, the damage! Did you see that one Lucent Beam just blast DJ down to the curb, and FPZ looking to suffer the same fate? Not enough spell lifesteal in the world to get out of that one, and he doesn't have a buyback. They're looking at Tims again. That's a dieback on your Rubik if they can find him. Bob, though, in major trouble, and Ghost will finally clean him up. But that's not before 423 starts ravaging the front lines. The two Salamene worshippers getting it done here, and the Song of the Siren holding back the Luna while they try and deal with the Omni Knight. This is actually a pretty good play. All things considered, it might be the moment for them to turn things around, but that's if they can deal with 423, who's still standing strong, still dealing damage, but starting to get controlled up and bashed. Auto attack finally popping the Satanic, the Glaives, they're a bit too much, and Ghost just has to retreat. I mean, 423, he can just keep this going, but he'll play it safe this time. The Doom has TP'd back in post-respawn. They just don't have the firepower to deal with the Luna.
No, not through the Satanic, not through the Butterfly. It's just too far ahead. You're too far ahead on 423, and it's simply that. You need to use everything perfectly and hope 423 just doesn't press his buttons to kill this Luna.
I think the problem is also, this fight was the first time we've really seen them pick off Sei, right? They did a good job separating the Luna from her support, but every other engagement, Sei has been there, and no one is there to address him. No one's there to jump the backlines. No one is there to pick up the support. And the Omni Knight left untouched is just a complete battery for this Luna.
The racks will continue to be taken here, slowly but surely. Ooh. A little bit of a scary
fight forward just to dodge the arrow.
Yeah, so far ahead, so strong. Who cares where you force staff yourself to?
Ango's coming back in though. The lasso, they found Ghost again. This could be huge. Bursting the Mirana and she's gone. 70 seconds without your carry and DJ FPC to fall as well. Boom. We're gonna see a game 3 most likely with Bruv surging forward. Good game is called. And boom. Despite their great efforts in game number 1 to pull it back in their favor and give themselves a shot at surviving in this tournament, they have to prove themselves yet again. Just like their previous meeting in the Bet Boom Dasha qualifiers 5 days ago, this series will go to a game number 3.
The people get what they want.
We'll have to see how it all shakes down in this game number 3 between Boom and Bruv. It's been a stellar series so far, and I'm excited to see how it ends. I also wonder what the 423 Morphling looks like, because I've seen him on a lot of other zany carries, but the Morphling a bit more traditional than what I would expect from him usually.
I mean, it looks on paper pretty good, right? Eliminate the player and just look at the hero. You can steal Alk, Timbersaw, Kunkka. These are really good cores to take from. And even the control from the Dark Willow could be, you know, pretty damn good. If you had to, you know, make a split-second choice between Dark Willow and Enchantress, you're probably going to take the Willow at this point.
Classic high five tech. Go to the mid lane, pop open the high five, and if someone high fives you, you know they're there. You get caught lacking. It's actually a competitive thing, you know, like people used to do it for funsies, and there are actual competitive applications. So I remember people using it to suss out wards and stuff like that. It's hilarious, but nothing to be found on both sides. Just playing very reserved. An early ward placed in the triangle on the top cliff there. For Boom, maybe trying to inform themselves of some stacks being made for the Underlord that they can go in there and sneakily steal. 423 on the front lines, not really what you want. The level 1 definitely favoring Boom, and they'll be able to muscle the side of Bruv away.
2 for 2.
For 2, Shaboom. Yeah, the Pango will be able to grab that one. If Tims gets a
Tims
nice
gets
cheeky observer ward. Super multiple doing up here, just trying to block the creep wave.
It's pretty cool by Ghost level concoction to stop that from happening, but Tsukimoto, he's got a cheeky level 1 ability too with the shards to continue to block the creep wave, force it under tower.
I mean, it's fine. Ghost is trying to pull it back with his body. Will be moderately successful in doing so, but yeah, here we go. Laning stage time. Okay, you know what I'm gonna ask. What do you want to look at? Anything you want to point out or any interactions you're looking forward to in this early stage?
I think the Timbersaw Willow lane can be pretty volatile as it gets higher in levels. Right, both Morphling and Omni Knight can output a considerable amount of damage early on. Not anything too crazy, but Morphling right-clicks still hurt early on. The waveform as well isn't too bad. Throw a Purification on top of that, all of a sudden you're cooking. At the same time, though, Dark Willow Timbersaw, it's a lot of damage and control in their own rights. Timbersaw doesn't really need anyone else to do the damage. He can supply it all by himself. They just need to be able to lock them down. And Timbersaw did go for Twisted Chakra, which means no extra slows on any of his abilities when he hits a tree.
I mean, he's not too worried, right? He just wants the sheer amount of damage to cut into the Morphling and perhaps the Underlord as well. I mean, MPZ also last picked this Timbersaw into the Morphling, so clearly it's something that he's confident in laning-wise. I'm gonna keep my eyes on it because it feels like there's a certain power spike that he's looking to hit, or maybe he just feels like this lane's gonna be free for him.
It should be pretty free. You know, as much as I was talking about kill potential from the Omni Knight Morphling, it's not on the Timbersaw by any means. It is just solely on this Dark Willow.
Yeah, well, Sei is dead. This is looking like first blood. One more whirling death. Tims will be the one to claim it. Never a stranger to securing the kill for his team. And yeah, it's not too big of a deal, but the fact that Sei just can't walk up all willy-nilly, it's really going to dampen the Omni Knight's impact, right? I think that was one of the differences between last game and this game. Sei, previously, he was rocking up to them, bullying them back, you know, punching away on Tims. Not so easy anymore, though.
No, not when you're dealing with the overwhelming damage of a Timbersaw and the control of a Dark Willow. You're not moving anywhere. You have to sit behind your Morphling and play incredibly careful. Like, even standing out far here like this, maybe now that you're level 2, things can, you know, change for you, but you still have to be so careful with your positioning. You can't eat too many whirling deaths.
What the... I guess 4-2-3 thought for a moment that he could contest for that Lotus, but I don't really think that's possible, sir.
No. Max somehow kills Bob's
so scary.
Interesting.
Okay. Maybe just too early on in the game and it's slow, and they did that thing where they went to each other's creep wave, so maybe just mistiming it. DJ does go down in the bot lane though. Combination of the Underlord and the Tusk getting it done. Running down this poor Enchantress.
The Tusk is a really good hero at keeping people in the Firestorm. Willow is as well. Omni Knight less so, right? There's a lot of really good Underlord heroes in the meta. Pairings, the word I was looking for. Pairings in the meta right now. And I'm surprised that we haven't really seen too much Underlord until today.
I mean, leading up the open qualifier games, I believe I saw quite a few teams opting for this pick, but I guess it's just B tier compared to Seime's Doom or some of the other selections that they want for him. So, never really paused to this situation yet. I think this is the first time a team has recognized that Seime on the Doom is a major problem. Tim's already starting the stacking process, getting some nice juicy camps ready for perhaps either the Timbersaw or the Alchemist, even the Kunkka. Yeah, I mean, all three of these cores can make use of that amplification, but wouldn't be surprised if FBZ or Alchemist are the ones to grab it.
I would assume it goes to the Alchemist, but the same thing like I said last game. You can always make more stacks. It's just about who can take it the earliest.
Oh, what was that? That was a bit of a weird drinking buddies. He kind of was punching away on the Alchemist and just decided, oh, yeah, I'm just going to walk back a couple of steps and then sock you one more time. Not really sure what that was about, but just trying to apply some pressure. Ghost not bothered at all though, still able to farm very, very well. 32-5 right now, leading the CS board. Really, there's nothing much that these two can do to stop him from farming, other than punching him around a little bit here and there.
Yeah, that little skirmish would have gone a lot better for them if that Shards was actually blocking Ghost and putting him in the Firestorm. But he was just barely outside of it, and because of that, he lives through it all.
Yeah, I think what's interesting as well is that I think Tsukimoto is forced to block the hard cam just to prevent the Enchantress from finding a creep. But that also prevents any sort of pulls. As Ghost being trapped up by the shards here, okay. Just gonna get clicked down. That's Enchantress. Trying to come through with the drinking buddies, but unfortunately don't have the move speed, so he will be able to phase boots his way out of that one. A little bit spooky. Ghost survives. Oh, here comes the Pango, Bob.
They had vision. He's fine. That could have been scary. A good heads-up rotation, though.
And one thing Say's been really good about is just getting these runes. It even sort of informs Mac that there's vision on that rune, but unfortunately, it's a very defensive ward. Looking for DJ as well, trapped in the Firestorm. A perfect bit of execution between these two. To get another kill on the Enchantress.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I was worried about Enchantress being food in this lane, and it certainly is starting to seem like that. Which is the sheer amount of, not even spells, but right-click damage coming out from Bruv, right? It's considerably high.
It's gonna be Mac who actually is the first one to attempt to farm these stacks, but Say fearlessly walks up into the fray, will regret that move, as Boom were completely ready for it. It'll delay the stacks being farmed for a bit, but you gotta know that those are there, and you gotta imagine Bruv, it's at the top of their mind to try and contest that, because that flat injection of net worth going Mac's way is not good news.
Getting him closer to that blade mill is not where you want to be, especially with the amount of uncontrollable damage, right? Pango is going to swashbuckle. It's just the state of the hero. Turn on your blade mill, it hurts. Morphling as well, Underlord Pit and Firestorm.
Bringing heroes to try and contest it now. They know that the Kunka's in the mid lane, but the Chakram should be able to clear out most of these. The Brambles keeping them away as well. Just waiting for a waveform. Bruv123 actually able to get most of those creeps. Very nicely done. And shout out to our Observer for switching over to the last hits denies as well, just to show us exactly what's going on. Who got the most of those. I think Bruv123 got what, like 3 or 4 of those big creeps? Very nicely done. And I mean, they don't lose anything as a result, so clean stuff. Contesting for the rune now, 8-minute mark. Mac setting up with the Torrent. Will not clip onto Bob though, and now the Morph into the Timbersaw form, throws out the Chakrams, but nothing to be found. Underlord even came into the fray, but they're a bit too late to get their hands onto FBZ. A whole lot of nothing going on, and FBZ will even follow him back through the portal. And there was a bit of an aggressive attempt, and they get the Underlord there. They're just waiting for him at the base, and
we don't talk about that.
I think he was trying to farm the Ancients, but yeah, and now a very awkward situation where Bob has just bumped Tim's away back to safety. FBZ is back in the mid lane, TP's in, and should be able to kill Tsukimoto as well, as Bob just has to ditch. A series of unfortunate events, to say the least, for the side of Bruv, as their stack contest initially goes well, and then it just all falls apart.
Yeah, what exactly happened to 423 there? Where'd he go? What's the skinny of that one? Do you? I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not paying attention to the Morphling at all.
No, I mean, it's just the classic case of he's morphed down low. He gave himself a little bit of HP, but clearly not enough, because he tanked like 8 ancient hits at the same time. And just overestimating how much armor he had probably, and he's just not there yet, right? The Morphling, like we mentioned, takes a while to come online. And you look at the net worth, no surprises that Ghost is leaps and bounds ahead of his opposition. He's had a good time so far. You couple that on with the Underlord kill that he just got, he is sitting pretty. It's an overall 3k gold lead for Boom at the early stage of the game. And like we said, Bob, he has a lot of work to do, and he'll be even the one building the Spirit Vessel, like you said, Crash.
Okay, I didn't think we'd see it, but it is just an overwhelmingly good game for it, right? Every single one of those cores hates a vessel. So I'm surprised, but also not at the same time. Like, it makes sense to me on paper, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like when you do something like this, it's the age-old issue with going a Blink Dagger first on the core, right? You're basically throwing away your own game, and you need to make action happen as a result. With the current state of the game that Boom are in, where they are the ones in the driving seat, you gotta wonder how and where Bob is gonna find this action, where he's gonna find these single target pickoffs to really get more earn charges. Hasn't even finished the base earn yet, still has it flying out to him, but he might lose his life. Rolling Thunder still available, the earn's over, and everybody's here as well. So cancel TPs though. No need for this overreaction, but I believe that Boom, that was fully in their vision. Wouldn't be surprised to see them make an immediate move up to try and punish a lone laner. The stacking is the focus for now. Tim's back to the gulag.
You know, this urn/vessel would be a lot better if it was purchased sooner, right? It's going to be so delayed from Bob just because of his net worth and Despairville. It's cool and nice. Like, it's the right item, I think, for the job, but it's going to come way too late. And it's, you know, like you said, with the way the game is going, you've only got 2 kills.
So much easier for Boom to set up for these pickoffs. Just 1 X marks, even the Timbersaw sliding in like that on a Bramble target is more than enough damage, showing us why he picked that Twisted Chakram, just for the instant execution. He's going for that Kaya first post bracer, just to keep himself up and running more in the mana department and keep himself on the map. Love that decision from him, especially since he's having such a great game.
Yeah, you can afford to be a little bit more greedy when you're this far ahead on a Timbersaw. Blink Dagger first item, we lived with it for a while, but, you know, times have changed. Now Leshracs are building first item Blink Dagger. Timbersaws much more favor things like a Kaya, actually specifically mostly just the Kaya, and then into items like a Blink Dagger.
Or maybe even a pipe, right? You were mentioning it's a pretty low damage lineup from Bruv, and any sort of aura that they get is going to help a long way. Now, speaking of auras, quick look at the items right now. Morphling has finished his Vlads. We have an Athos complete on the Underlord, but nothing really much else to speak of. Kaya just picked up by the Timbersaw, and the Radiance freshly done. I believe he just needs to TP back to base. There we go. So picked up by the Courier at the Secret Shop. And yeah, the Alchemist is gonna... Man, this is a fat stack.
Hey, look, they made more. Ghost can take this one after the, you know, the Timbersaw and Kung can take the other stack. It's crazy. Supports.
Yeah.
Learn this one simple trick from right here, right now. You can make stacks after the lane.
Enemy teams hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like the classic off-laner moment where you think you've really done in the opposing carry, and it's like, haha, stacks, and that's literally it. He comes out with higher net worth and levels than you. It's just miserable. And speaking of higher net worth, it's a full 3k advantage on this Alchemist alone. Trying to get the setup onto 4-2-3, but Say is in the area. Doesn't even... Yeah, like, that's the thing, right? The Morphling is really tricky to get down. And the only time he's died this game is when he suicided to the neutral. So, you know, they're gonna have to bring a lot more members to try for his life there. It's like grouping up for a smoke move. Bruv, they're on the hunt. They want to take this Timbersaw down. I don't believe
they need
that very
it's gonna be
deep
hard
ward caught them. Yeah. I mean, he's just trying to bait a little bit for now. Coming a bit closer, FBZ, the alarm bells might start ringing. They don't see anyone defending the mid lane, and the snowball comes through. Timberchain initially, Underlord going to gate forward as well. In comes Bob. Rolling Thunder should be needed here. The Ato's going to hold him in place as well. Very nice chain stun and chain disable. The question is, where is the damage? It's with 4-2-3 who joins them with the gate. But the rest of Boom have rejoined the fight, and they've taken down both supports. Now Morphling's in trouble. The Ghost Ship chasing him down. And he's already used the waveform, morphing into the Timbersaw, trying to get out of here. One last waveform. Can he get to the low ground and get out? Timberchain, very fancy plays here, but the question is it going to suffice? The last impetus pulled back and killed off. Ghost is right there to beat him. No one else was there. They all just ditched. They realized that their Morphling was not to be saved. So they get the Timbersaw, which is what they initially came for, but it comes at quite the cost.
Yes, it did, and we're kind of seeing that damage issue happen firsthand now. They had to dump everything, and I mean everything, on the Timbersaw. Alchemist comes around, he's like, oh, I'll take this fight, absolutely. You've just used everything and the kitchen sink on my Timbersaw. Why not? You've just now finished the Vessel on the Pangolier. As much as I think this was the right item, I'm incredibly worried for Bob.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? His entire game just gets slowed down to a crawl. It's 15 minutes. He's nowhere near his Blink Dagger. He has to be the one to make action happen for his team, and he can't even do enough damage. Now, they are setting up onto the Underlord, pulling back with the X. There is that repel. Let's say that'll be enough for now.
digs up a cheeky little salve for him too, and we'll have a purification. So Same, he's back to full HP essentially. Both offlaners have picked up a mechanism now. I didn't expect to see from the Timbersaw, but here we are.
They have full vision. Pims with the setup. It's a beautiful terrorize, but the Rolling Thunder comes out in time. Say, popping that Guardian's Angel as a little bit of a preemptive measure. Mag has the Spirit Vessel taking on him, the only charge available, but no one else is there to follow up. Ghost has joined the fight now, and this is looking like a boom win. Nice little snowball to buy them some time, but they've already taken down the Omni Knight. Bob desperately trying to get out the Curse Crown right on top of him. Leads the way for the Timber to come through and slice down the Pango. Easy pickings. So just keep going on for more. The chase can just keep going, and man, so much damage from this Timbersaw. The GG. The GG run. It's far too early for that, but we're reaching that level when it's an 11k gold lead this early on. That was the first reveal of the Spirit Vessel, and it did absolutely jack. 423 has to play his way out of this one. Waveform already used the silence up as well. That is a fresh Orchid for Mac, if I'm not mistaken. Should be able to get this Waveform off. Turning into the Dark Willow there and using the Shadow Realm. Very nicely played. I mean, 423, we gotta give it to him, right? He's been creative with these morphs so far and quick with the reactions. Yeah,
you need to, right? Like, we already talked about how pretty much every single target on Boom is a good target for Morphling to morph into. Just, you know, different strokes for different folks sort of situations, right? You gotta be very particular about any given time. Willow, probably the only one that saves you there with the Shadow Realm as well as the Brambles, so a good heads up play from the Morphling to do that.
Yeah, and I love the itemization choice as well, but I might have to hold that thought. Looks like there is a bit of action going on. Ghost was looking for a target in Tsukimoto, which is why they just peeled off DJ immediately to help their ally out. But yeah, you take a look at the support itemization choices on Boom. It's just picture perfect for this lineup. 2 4-stars, 1 completed, 1 queued up. Speaking of queued up, they serve the Underlord up into the sky. Couple of stuns going his way. The Repel, though, leads the 2 supports into their death. They all stick around to try and help that poor guy. They end up paying with their lives for it. Just easy pickings again and again from Boom. It's the Dark Willow effect that we talked about, right? You try and come through and save, you're gonna get caught in the brambles. You're gonna get caught in some shit, and it's not gonna be pretty.
No, it's gonna be stinky. It's gonna be sticky. It's gonna be stinky. It's gonna get stuck on your shoe. It's gonna be awkward. You're gonna track it around in your house. Bobby's being tracked right now.
Bob. Is there a way he gets out of this one? I mean, the Rolling Thunder TP is a pretty good situation for him. Not enough damage from Boom, which is not something I've been saying anytime within the past 18 minutes. This time round, the finish off save. The Orchid, just such a high value pickup for Mac. You compare and contrast that to the Spirit Vessel on Bob, which, you know, it feels like one of those things where you're convinced someone told him, like, yo, you need to get Spirit Vessel, so in this game, it's really good. Probably on his team, but it's not an item you ever feel good about picking up yourself.
Not on a Pangolier especially, right? Very specifically, there are mid laners that pick up Vessel, right? Invoker, Coddle, oh geez, not a Pangolier, not like this.
He managed to dodge the gank in the bot lane, but here come the tips, Mac. Oh, this is dangerous. But I think it's the right thing to do, given that your 15k gold lead up at the 19-minute mark. This is a previous advantage that I don't know how Bruv123 are going to crawl themselves out of. Now, I'm not about to count out a lineup with a Morphling, right? If they can drag this game out somehow and get to the later stages, they might be able to hold. Alchemist is peaking early, but that's what the hero does. He can slowly peter out. That's where the Morphling 1-to-1 carry matchup is going to come online. But this was part of the plan all along for Boom.
Yeah, Boom are ready for early aggression from the get-go. Right, this is exactly what they wanted. They've got this Enchantress lineup, but here that can go really well late as well as early, just from a single support pick, right? This hero is a menace past 30 minutes and a menace to lanes before it as well. So I really like the trajectory that Boom are going for right now, right? Match Bruv's, give them a taste of their own medicine a little bit, right? Like full-on aggression. And we're running into the problem where Bruv, they have no heroes to play around. Bob has a damn Vessel instead of a Blink Dagger. He's not ready. It's an Underlord in your offlane. Who's fighting?
Bob. We're gonna thank his lucky stars that he managed to get the Rolling Thunder off there. A little bit of a wrong guess from Ghost on the blink. Catches a glimpse of him and tries to cut him off. Yeah, the question is, even when you do get this blink dagger on Bob, does it necessarily help you? Because you're up against the Orchid of the Kunkka, right? Like, I don't know how that saves your situation. STP is coming out here. They're trying to kill Seimei. Just to make his way through the gate, but the Curse Crown and the full artillery tossed on top of his head. They spared no expense. They just went crazy on him. 4 heroes TPing here just to punish him. That's mad.
Oh, they know the Wisdom Runes are one of the few ways that you can kind of get back into this game on Bruv, right? Getting more XP for your supports means higher levels into Repel, higher levels into everything else that the Tusk can do, getting closer to just a little bit more, and that's just really what they need, right? A little bit more on their supports, net worth, experience, anything that they can grab, be very valuable for them.
Yeah. They are really, really poor. And you look at the opposing side, DJ finishing up a Hurricane Pike while his Dark Willow has had a wonderful game.
Tusk has like naked boots and a blink dagger, and you know, Dark Willow and Chandras are rolling in gold.
Getting hunted down by Mac here should be a pretty easy X. No. Guess wrong with the Torrent as well. Trying to move forward. Okay. He's wasting a lot of time. That's something.
They'll get him. They got him. I don't know if they do. Yeah.
I don't know if they do. So all I'm saying is I don't know if they do.
They don't.
They don't.
That was really good by Tsukimoto, actually.
Yeah. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Say as well, being annoying in the mid lane, just recognizing that the members that could kill him were not there. No one else on this team has a stun, and if Ghost shows up here, they're not too worried about it because he was in the mid lane. So, runs in there, stops the creep wave for a bit, throws out a Purify, and just TPs on out of there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Next T2 tower on the docket. We are seeing an AC being built up on Al, because Seimei rest upon.
Rest upon, about to be executed. Sei is going to go down. Last impetus shot finds its mark on the Omni Knight. And Ghost isn't scared of a thing, man. He's in between the tier 3s and tier 4s. Mac is there to back him up. The question is, where are the heroes of Bruv? They are just split up across the map. 4-2-3 desperately farming where he can. Trying to finish a Hail Mary butterfly, it seems like. I mean, that's going to be a huge injection of damage, but the question is that going to be enough against the sheer burst of the Timber?
Not against the Timber, not against the Kunkka. It's enough against, you know what, not even the Alp, because he has a physical burst as well. Acid Spray plus Concoction. Does a lot of damage.
I mean, I guess the idea is just that he needs to get damage and he needs it fast because no one in his team has it. So the fastest way to get there is just pump in Agi. I don't fully disagree with it. I really do think this might be the sort of Hail Mary that they need.
Oh, absolutely is.
Mac. This up. Silencing Tsukimoto. Great measure to prevent any snowball shenanigans. 4-2-3 will be able to just TP out. The Chakram narrowly misses where he's TPing from, so he'll be fine. Meanwhile, mid lane, Tims with the setup onto 2. It's a beautiful terrorize, and here comes Ghost. It's like Sei is just dead, but at least the Underlord gets back to safety, so again, the support's the one to suffer for this.
But still, you've got someone suffering on your team. 2 supports that would really like to thrive instead of suffer here. Tusk specifically, right, bottom of the net worth, very, very low on that net worth, is not where the hero wants to be.
I'm not gonna lie, it really feels like this Tusk pick and the Omni Knight pick were baited out a little bit, right? You mentioned during the draft that, Sei, of course he's gonna go back on this pick because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You get 2 insane saves. Made them confident enough to pick the Morphling as well. But it was all part of the plan for Boom. They started it out with the Kunkka and with this Dark Willow, it's just perfect. Every single time you're showing up, Mac is just there with Silence. There's a Dark Willow there with a Terrorize. you can't really get in range to save, and every time you do, you basically collect, like, just additional damage, right? Like,
And like,
it's so easy for them to just follow up and get you.
it feels like you've all-in'd on this save and you've completely forgotten about damage. Right, Tsukimoto could be playing something like a Hoodwink instead. Are you still going to be food? Yeah, probably, but at least you can output some damage.
Yeah, I mean, the Tusk net, I think they just, you know, with the Morphling pick and the Underlord, Seimei, he doesn't really play these kind of carry or damage-focused offlaners, and that weakness is showing a little bit. Ghost is going to get the Aegis for himself. Sei is just trying to be as annoying as possible. He placed down a very deep ward that gave him vision of these heroes hunting him down, so he's able to buy some time. The 20k gold lead to 3 now.
Tower is under attack.
There's 2 more kills before the magic number.
Bounty.
I see. Doing some.
I mean, we were hoping for game number 3, right? And
this wasn't it, though.
yeah, it's a little bit tough.
We're back to our speedrunning category.
Yeah, I mean, our observer and producer did say that this was gonna go like what, 15 minutes fast game, like the fastest game ever. It's not necessarily quick. Look, it's slowed down quite a bit, but one thing's for certain, it feels like Bruv have not really played this game.
I mean, they have 3 kills. Of course, they haven't played this game. They've been playing Farmville, and against an Alchemist, I'm not sure that's what you really want.
Yeah, see, they will be playing Farmville if they actually farmed anything. The only person actually farming is 423. Everyone else is just straight up in the slums, man. Like, they have nothing. Like, Greaves, Athos, sure, pretty cute, but this is an Underlord that was supposed to be parked in front of towers, preventing this exact thing from happening. And instead, you're falling prey to the game plan of Boom. 27 minutes. That's what we were talking about. From 25 to 35, this is Boom's kingdom. And they are making it known that they are here to move on. They are meaning serious business. The complete the butterfly for 423. What can he do with it? For now, it's like a lot of control onto him, forcing the waveform away. Active strikes don't seem to be enough at the moment. Bob winding up the Rolling Thunder with the Blink reveal. They managed to force stuff out the Timber, and it's a very easy escape. Just like that, your major teamfight ult is down on the Pango. And now Mac, he's looking for a little bit of a target.
I mean, there's nothing stopping at this point from Boom to just keep going. Right? There's no scary ultimates anymore. There's nothing.
Still is 423. That can't be underestimated, but with the sheer amount of control being tossed his way, it's a little bit tough. Now, Alchemist, second round of Chemical Rage, just regenning up right now. 423, going toe-to-toe, Ghost dropping very low actually. It's enough damage to waveform forward. Still not enough to finish off the Alchemist's first life, and uh-oh, 423, he's gone a bit too deep. They're trying to save him with the snowball, but they simply cannot. Again, Tims says no, and with 60 seconds without your strongest hero, this is looking like the end here for Bruv. Tims come through. Bob, he... You know, for much of this tournament, and for many of his competitive career, like the games that he's played, his biggest enemy has always been himself. And it feels like with this choice to go the Spirit Vessel, he really shot himself in the foot here. I don't think he really had any other option with how bad the game was going, but still, gonna hang on here. But for how long? The Aegis still fine. Yeah, he's gonna have to die to put a charge on it, and I think if he dies, it's the end of the game.
Orchid in the backpack of the Alchemist too. Just waiting for that Aegis to expire or get destroyed before you swap that bad boy in.
Showing some respect to the respawn of 423, but again, Bob, another roll out there. Not sure whether it's going to amount to anything. Gonna bump into DJ just to allow that snowball to come off, but Tsukimoto's rolling into his death, and there's nothing anyone on the side of Bruv can do about it. Sei will come through to allow for the drinking buddies, but gives up his own life again. That is just symbolic of the game state. That is how it's been for these supports. And Bob getting the roll up, but just getting chunked into. GG is called. It's the end of the line for Bruv. They had a great run today, but it's just not enough. Mac will throw out some tips and some smiley faces, and Tsukimoto is right. They tried, but it just wasn't enough. Boom Esports will be the team moving on in the close qualifiers here for DreamLeague Season 24.